Cup, round one, Adelaide versus...
First round of the Foster's Cup, the first time a healthy crowd here, very warm in the stadium, a crowd of over 20,000 people. For the Adelaide Crows, Tony McGuinness, and for Geelong. Let's have a look at the teams.
Yes, well, there are quite a few new faces here. Scott. And the half-back line, Maynard, Thompson and Smart. And good to see Bairstow back. And young Scott there, I wonder whether he'll line up there. We'll appreciate the fact that Bairstow's back in the side and Poole played his good football on the wing last year. Who played a few games in the half-back for Geelong last year. About 1984-85 came with Romano Negri, originally Tony McGuinness, ruck roving with Daryl Hart, who's drafted by St Kilda against Damien Burke, who is probably the fittest he's been for 5 years. Him, Mark Micken, former Brisbane Bears captain, Schwartz and Kelly. And for Geelong, Hooper from Western Australia, their number one draft choice, Ryan, Malik Callis.
Close to full strength, the acting captain, former Footscray star in Glenelg. Tony McGuinness, Ian Robertson will be our co-commentator next season on the ground. Back with the start of the match.
For the inaugural game of the Foster's Cup in Adelaide between the Cameron Crows and Geelong. The opposing captains Andrew Hughes of Geelong being joined by the Cameron Crows captain Tony McGuinness for the toss of the coin to elect ends. And Andrew Hughes wins the toss, so Geelong kick into the northern end of the ground.
Welcome back to Football Park. Max Stevens is on the boundary line with the Mitsubishi Motors ground report. Max.
Bruce, a glorious day in Adelaide today. We had a top of 36 degrees. The weather tonight is going to be excellent. Our current temperature is 24 degrees. The expected low, 18 degrees. Humidity, 45% as the crowd roars. The wind very slight, blowing left of screen to the far forward pocket. No goal advantage whatsoever. The ground surface firm, in fact, excellent conditions. And the forecast, cooler change overnight.
And one of the reasons they were bluing, Max, was because there's a blue at centre half forward, but it's all been sorted out. Geelong kicking to the left of screen. Buse won the toss. Greg Scroop with the ball and Hayden Kennedy, the two umpires. So it's the Crows to the right and Geelong to the left. Couch with the first touch, the Brownlow medalist from 89, allowed to go on. Poole gets the first kick to half forward. Smart in the front spot.
Interesting too, Bruce, but they've got Robert Scott Geelong at full forward. They named Brownless in that position. As we see now, a 50-metre penalty being paid.
Don. The bloke had fallen over. There was nothing he could do. The umpire has been very, very sensitive with that penalty.
Scott Lee it is. Short. Looks for Lindsay in the centre. Still Lindsay. Goes to half forward. Klug on a lead. Still Klug, besieged, and it'll be a ball up at half forward.
Good desperate stuff there by Stephen Hocking to put himself in the position to hold that football in.
So there, Bruce Lindsay throwing Ken Hinkley to the ground. Lindsay be anxious to impress tonight.
And Geelong pretty keen. Bairstow can't get the football out. He's still got it, hatching it, and that was a fair income decision there. The free kick will go to the Crows to be taken by Hart. Hart into full forward, out comes Hodges. And the crowd down in front of us here are going wild. The Crows with the first distinct opportunity. Good play there by Hart. Picking the lead, which was an excellent one by Hodges. And he'll shoot from about 40 metres out. The angle is fairly difficult. Lovely long drop punt kick, but it's off to the right. And through for the first score. It's a behind to the Crows. So Bruce, down in the rooms before the game, Geelong very, very enthusiastic, and on the other hand, the Crows wouldn't allow us in the rooms.
Wouldn't give us a sniff, Robbo. Half back, Buse, excellent to see him back after his reconstruction. Marshall goes early against Couch. Marshall, who had a great season with Glenelg last year, best and first, Hughes, Klug, and then McDermott, now Hodges. Well, that was a wonderful mark. He went early and stood up and took it strong.
He's a very strong player, as we saw there, where he got in front. Nell just could not get his body over because there was good positioning by Hodges. Here it is on replay. He got up well. Copped one across the chops.
40 metres out. Drop punt. Good kick. That's a goal. Hit the post at the last moment. Well, it was home and hosed. In fact, it's been paid a goal. Geez, looked like it hit the post.
It certainly hit the post, but it may have been that the ball could have hit the back of the post.
But also it's the wind. Now here's the lead. Hodges in front of Nell. And now the kick. Now there is a strong breeze blowing from right to left. Now maybe that ball had gone over the line. The umpire in the right position, if that's the case.
Well, I've marked it down for 2 behinds to Hodges, but we'll have to correct that and give him the goal. Certainly been put on the scoreboard. Away comes the Crows through Felke. The kick towards half forward. Opportunity for them to go ahead through Hart. Couldn't control it. Now Mansfield gets it to Stephen Hocking. Somehow he got the handball to Buse. Buse goes wide to Schultz. Schultz's handball is inaccurate. Couch under pressure. Wonderful hand pass there to Bairstow. What a great sight for Geelong fans. And there's another tremendous sight. Stoneham taking the mark at centre half forward. Well, he's not at centre half forward. He's wide of centre half forward and he kicks it back in that direction. Scott can't mark. Great roving by Tony Malakalis. Up to full forward. Here's a Geelong goal. Bruns into an open goal. Handball's over and Poole kicks it for the Cats.
Well, it's good play by Geelong because Poole, who kicked that goal, is playing on the wing. And the other interesting factor about the Geelong forward line is that it is very small. Scott playing at full forward, Malakalis coming onto the ball. And we see there Dennis Ryan also in the pocket. So it's a very, very small forward line.
Seven to 6. The Crows by a point. And Paul and Hodges the goal scorers. Burke against Negri. Negri didn't train on Monday night. He's had a slight problem. Jarman tried to go off the ground. Schwert throws it out. Klug goes to ground. Gets rid of it. Schwert, kick that goes nowhere. Brownless caught. Back to Schwert, to centre half forward. Linder and Hocking. A chance here for Hart. He should walk in and goal. Drop punt, good kick it through. The Crows are 2-1 and the Cats are a goal.
Well, that was good anticipation there by Hart. He got caught earlier on the half-forward flank. He may lack a yard or two in pace, but he made up for that on that occasion with the anticipation. See how he got in front of the pack there? He read it really well. Daryl Hart from North Adelaide. He was number 31 in the draft, picked by St Kilda in 1989.
So we'll have a bounce back in the centre. It's been fairly entertaining stuff, the early part of this game. And both sides keen to do well in their first tryout for 1991. Bairstow kicks the Cats back up towards full forward, over the head of Bruns. What a brilliant gather by Scott. Robert Scott round onto the right foot. Snapshot for goal is magnificent. It's a goal to Geelong. Robert Scott gathering the football about 30 metres out in the pocket and not enough pressure. And look at the Geelong players. There's 16 of them around that player who kicked the goal, and they're very, very enthusiastic, the Cats.
Well, it's interesting the way that Geelong have lined up with those small fellows on the forward line. Scott there getting in front of Robbie Thompson. And a great kick. He's had a great pre-season, young Robert Scott.
Two 2 goals. And both times the Cats have scored, the whole team has come up to congratulate them. Playing a very short forward line. Quick kick to centre half forward, Lindsay almost. Going to ground, Malakalis. Lindsay on the up to Jarman was good footy. It was Buse who kicked it to centre half forward in the first place. No free kick given. Or good hip and shoulder. McGuinness's first real touch. Start against the Bombers. Uses Marshall, former teammate. Will it sit? Buse is onto him. Well played, Buse. McGuinness eluded one tackle. He's at centre wing. Goes towards Lindner. Outnumbered. Brownless with a specky. Not paid. No play on. Hart caught. Brownless in over the top. And it'll be a ball up about 45 metres out.
I think Don mentioned earlier just the pace that the Crows have to adjust to. Buse catching a player on centre wing there, and again Hart being caught with the football.
And the Crows have already made a change. Lindsay's gone to full back on Robert Scott, and Robbie Thompson's come out in the back pocket on Bruns.
Jarman's kick slews off the side of his boot, collected by Couch. Couch composed, the kick is too high. Back into the centre, Gary Hocking with strength on Hart, but he gives away the free kick. So Hart will take it back near the centre of Football Park. Magnificent conditions, Bruce, here in Adelaide. As Max has mentioned earlier, 35 degrees when we came out here at about 6 o'clock this evening, so the players will find it tough in the dying minutes of this game, I would suggest. Hart's kicked to forward pocket. Phillips is caught with the football. After it goes Negri, tap out. Gary Hocking, clever. Burke. Good kick under pressure by Burke. He gathered about 40 metres for his side. Back in towards the centre. No talking between the Crows. Ryan overruns it. Now good play there by Warhurst. And the umpire has picked out a free kick. It may go to the Crows. Yes, it is. He's talking to a Geelong player in the centre. And the free kick will go back to Andrew Jarman.
To centre half forward. Burke wasn't a good kick. McGuinness versus Burke. Not much percentage there. Couch's handball okay. The quick give by Neal to Hocking. That's Stephen Hocking. Jarman tried to intercept. Mansfield tried to tap it on. Couch's handball. Bairstow. Warhurst got in the road. Jarman with his quick hands to Filkey. To Negri, who can attack now. Hodges one out. Not this time. Neal back there. Steadies. No one really to kick it to. Will it sit for Klug? Schwert, I should say. Still Schwert. He's got a couple of options. Goes towards full forward. Klug in the front spot. Outnumbered. Buse cleverly but caught. Had to get rid of it in a hurry, Schultz. Back to Buse. Buse from the back pocket to half back. Bruns in the front spot. couldn't take the mark. Filkey fell over. Also another Crows player going to ground. The Geelong want a free kick. Bruns out after it, and Bruns will get the free kick at half-back.
Well, he appealed for it and got it. The umpire was in a great position there, right alongside Neville Bruns, only 35 metres away. The kick is a poor one by the Geelong player. Under pressure, Poole. Getting the ball out was McDermott. Now the Crows will go forward, up towards half-forward. Looks like it might be a mark. No, it's not. There to Klug. And Geelong repel that back towards centre wing. No mark taken. Ball runs free. Bairstow always looking for a player in a better position. This time it's Couch. Couch's long drop punt kick to full forward. No mark taken. Great recovery by Scott, but he overruns the football and composed. Smart comes away with it for the Crows. Kicks it straight across the ground, and it may have just bounced centimetres inside the field of play. So it's a boundary throw-in about 55 to 60 metres around from the Geelong goal.
Eddie Hocking on the interchange for the Crows. Negri in the front spot. Hart. Campbell not all that good. Maynard was able to get it to McDermott to centre wing. Filkey at the back. Mansfield at the front, and it'll be a throw-in.
Well, the impressive thing about the Crows is the fact that they're prepared to commit themselves with the ball, and they are really throwing themselves in when the occasion arises.
Crowd over 20,000, not nearly as big as it was for the trial game against Essendon. Hart, who's had some touches. Schwert, who was named on the centre wing. They didn't line up as they were in the paper. McDermott went to ground. Filkey, it'll come back. McDermott a bit lucky there. He fell over. Blake went on top of him and he gets a free kick from centre wing.
McDermott's kick towards half forward. Dropping back there and showing tremendous courage for Geelong was Buse. Now there's an opportunity for Klug to kick. Oh, here's a mark to Lindner. Well, what would you say there, Don? The flight of the ball deceiving the Geelong defenders, but Lindner now has it only 4 metres out directly in front, and he puts it through. So Lindner gets his first goal, the Crows get their third, and they lead by 7 points.
Well, Lindner is one player that does possess a lot of ability. We see here is Schulz in front, who really backed hard into the pack. There it is, Klug. Now maybe the breeze, maybe he's centering. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And he centered the ball to Lindner, who positioned himself well. That was good play.
(19-12) at Football Park in Adelaide. The Crows over the Cats in a high standard first 15 minutes of football. 20-minute quarters plus time on. Hooper's come on from East Perth, the Cat recruit. So Geelong have made a change. Bairstow round his body to half forward. Paul and Filkey. Filkey hip and shouldered by Mansfield. Good football.
Incidentally, Hooper's gone on to the full forward, or gone to full forward, so they haven't got that small forward line as they started. Scott now up on the ball, for Geelong.
And Warhurst has gone on to Hooper, who had a bit of height. So Negri's tap down. Good strong tackle there by Lindsay. Couch looking for one. Jarman to Schwert. The Crows try and set it up. Thompson with a high one. Lindner in the front spot, playing against his old teammates tonight. And so Lindner from the centre square, and he can really boom it if he gets onto it. He goes to Hodges.
Great hands, and there's good hands again. He's going to be a real problem, this boy, Don, if he starts to get used to what it's all about.
The other interesting thing about that, Ian, is they're leaving a big hole in which Hodges can lead into. So it's good play by the Crows, the way they're setting their forward line. Look, the ruckman just can't get down there quick enough because they're moving the ball very quickly into their forward line.
Well, this will test his kicking ability for length anyway. He's got the distance, but in doing so just pulls it to the left, and it's through for his second behind. He's kicked 1 goal, 2, and Adelaide 3-2 lead Geelong 2 goals. There's Geelong's #1 draft choice, Big Hooper from Western Australia. The Cats will be looking for plenty from him, as well as Damien Burke, who's come back from a bad injury. The kick in goes to half-back, looking for Burke. Over the top, he couldn't mark. Mansfield gathers the football, but he's well tackled by Filkey, and he did not really try to get rid of it, so he's been penalised. Filkey looking to play on. Now he kicks the ball high, in towards centre half forward. A big punch away by Schultz. Goes wide out there towards Marshall. Marshall tries to get the handball back, but Couch is there, and he sees the ball safely over for a boundary throw-in. The play is about 55 to 60 metres around from the Crows' goal. And Damien Burke, and the number 20 there for the Crows is Klug.
He's playing at centre half forward, McGuinness. can kick either foot towards the pocket. Lindner Schultz in the front spot. Hocking did a good job on Lindner, just kept him out. So Schultz from the back pocket. Only played half a dozen games last year. Goes towards centre wing. At the back was Kelly. Negri's handball from Marshall. Negri couldn't take it. Marshall scoops it up to Filkey. Called a throw.
Will always be called
hard.
a throw if you lift the ball in the air. Umpires are given that instruction.
So Bairstow from centre wing. Goes towards centre half forward. Brownless the target. At the back, Maynard. Scott off the ground with pace. Here's Hooper and Warhurst. Warhurst, the former Norwood player, goes to half-back with a handball, and he finds just what he wanted, and that was the boundary line. Tom Warhurst, whose father was a very good footballer here, sporting identity with the same name.
And he is a very, very solid player. Centre half-back for Norwood. Very impressive, Warhorse.
Boundary throw in between wing and half forward favouring Geelong. Jarman comes away with the football. Oh, there's a really potential crash there. The kick off the ground by Geelong goes back towards the forward pocket. It's just inside the 50-metre line, and Scott holds the ball in.
That was good play. That was Hinkley that came through then. He started on the half-forward line, a real will-o'-the-wisp. Went to the half-back line halfway, or near the latter part of last year, Hinkley, and is playing there tonight. Good play.
Number 10, Hooper. Couldn't get the tap out. Gary Hocking has the football, but there's a free kick to the Crows, and it's going back to that 50-metre line, and it'll be taken by their acting captain this evening, Tony McGuinness.
She might have been a bit lucky there. Had the footy and tried to go to ground. Centre wing, Klug the target in the centre. Schultz at the back. McDermott has been injured a bit. Klug over the top and caught by Bruns. Too slow there.
That's the only thing that I've picked up in the first 15 or 18 minutes, Bruce. Just move the ball on there. Getting caught with that football underneath them a little bit. And that's just one thing that they'll have to improve on. You can't afford to hold it underneath. You'll be penalised.
Bruns from half-back. Negri in the box seat. Warhurst's mark against Burke. So Warhurst from half-back chips it to Marshall. Well played, Couch, and it'll be a throw-in.
Now, is Marshall a real centre man, Bruce?
Normally plays on the wing.
Or is he tagging, do you think?
I reckon he might be tagging Couch because he is a wingman. He's played just about all of his 300 games on the wing with Glenelg.
Very important, the centre line duels on these big grounds. Opportunity for McDermott. He gets the handball out. Hinkley, the kick across his body is not bad. Goes about 35 metres towards goal. Opportunity for Gary Hocking. Couldn't quite flip it to the advantage of his teammate. Now the Crows will come forward. It's Marshall with a little bit of space. The kick towards half forward. The mark is taken by Hart. And he's got a little bit of experience on young Phillips, who has only played a couple of senior games. Now Hart into the pocket. Good lead there by Hodges. Round onto the right foot. The hook kick into the square, but dropping back as Hinkley, and he marks on that last line of defence. Oh, the clearing kick is an absolute shocker. It's out of bounds, not on the full. You are so lucky, Ken Hinkley.
And coming on for the Crows is Eddie Hocking and McDermott. I think the player going off. Also warming up for the Crows is Darren Smith.
Hooper got the tap. Filkey read it well. Here's Hocking. Gives it back to Filkey from 30 metres. Drop punt. Has he kicked it? It hasn't quite made it. Didn't get onto it at all well, and Neild was able to get back and take the mark.
Poor kick, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, he should have drilled that from 35 metres. Former Magarey medalist, played a season at Collingwood. Marshall at the back, good strong mark in the front though by the Cats. This is Hooper. First time we've all seen him tonight.
That could have nearly been a penalty against the Crows player there for knocking the ball out of the hands of Hooper. And the umpire not too far away. Hooper not keen to kick the footy. Gives the handball away. Into the pocket. Now he gets it back. Again he handballs. Buse in trouble. Pretty good at shrugging the tackle though, Andrew Buse, and he does it successfully. Short pass is okay. He finds Couch wide on centre wing. And look, that left footer, he always gets away with it. Running around. A lovely long kick to full forward. Coming clear for the Crows is Thompson. Thompson's kick back towards centre wing. Geelong mark taken back there by Hooper. Well, and I'm already impressed, Don.
Well, let's hope he kicks it because he just did two handballs that just weren't on.
Centre half forward. Smart was a bit stiff not to get a free kick. Hocking fell over. Lindsay to the boundary line. He'll find it. It'll roll out.
It's interesting with Burke up there, the way that Geelong have got their forward line set up now. Burke at full forward. And Hooper.
Sorry, Don. Corn's on the phone with Michael Taylor alongside of him.
Those little fellows around the Geelong forward line have got to get under their big full forward.
Negri wins the tap. The give by Maynard to Lindsay was good, and the quick kick by Hart, who's had a very good first quarter. Klug at centre half, the playing at centre half forward. Handball was very ordinary. Put Schwert under enormous pressure. Schwert able to get it to Marshall. Marshall tried to get it to Hart. Here's Gary Hocking, who's been pretty quiet. Left foot, oh gee, that was clever. Well played to Scott. And Scott can attack, and he's a good kick for goal. 50 metres out, goes to the goal front with a beauty, and it'll go through. So the Cats within 2 points, a mistake by the Crows, 3 goals to 3-2.
Well, he is giving Robbie Thompson the run around. That's Robert Scott. And the Crows making a change. Negri going off, Micken coming on. But he is the live wire on the forward line, Robert Scott, and he is going to cause a lot of problems going by the early part of this first quarter.
So an entertaining start to this match here at Football Park. And Schultz doing some ruck work now to give his two compatriots, Burke and Hooper, a bit of a spell. Got a cut above his eye. Gary Hocking's caught with the football, and he's going to be penalised. Free kick going to Marshall. No. Yes, it... Now, what's the umpire doing there?
I think he had a go at Hocking, and Hayden Kennedy was just telling him to be careful.
Telling the boys to tidy it up. The kick goes wide. Free kick to the Crows there in that marking duel. It's going back to Micken, and Micken, who's played quite a number of AFL games. The kick is a shocker, wide into the pocket, really no advantage. Oh, around the neck to Hooper, and Geelong will relieve in the back pocket. So the big ruckman, he looks a little raw, but has impressed me so far. That's why he doesn't kicked on, a shocker. And the mark is taken out there by Filkey. Filkey plays on quickly, short pass is okay. He finds Marshall closer to centre half forward. The long kick by that player into the goal square. Oh, a high fly, the ball comes to the back, and Neil hurries it through for a rush behind, and the percentage play there by the Cats defence.
There's some good things coming out of this. One that Hooper on, that's McDermott on screen. Hooper the way he put his body in front there, and also we've seen Schultz put his body in front of Paxson back. Not many players do it. It's a very courageous act.
20-minute quarters plus time on, so we're into the time on situation. Kelly to Filkey, who's had a lot of kicks. Short to Hart. Hart's handball to Jarman, he has to half volley it. Strong drop punt, good kick. Neal versus Hodges. Neal did well, he'll get a free kick. Brun's running for him. So it's 21-18. Hot, balmy day in Adelaide, really hot, about 36 degrees. The sting's gone out of it now, but still a very warm evening. The kick, Marshall, taken by Couch, he did it very well. To Buse, goes sideways to Brun, some experience there, but not a good kick. It just sat up forever. And a Schwert from the centre wing. Tregenza, who was expected to be the main wingman for the Crows, on the interchange. Schwert for Hodges. Again, there's two against him. He goes early. Neal hurries it away. Filkey, will it beat him out of bounds? It will, and it'll be a throw-in at half forward with the Crows attacking.
Part of the interested crowd here at Football Park this evening. Boundary throw in about 60 metres around from the Crows' goal. Micken over the top, Hooper. Clean bowls Poole. Clever, intelligent tap over, finds Jarman. He goes to Marshall. Inside 50, Marshall goes long and right on the goal line. Neal takes the mark and takes the ball away for Geelong. So the Crows have done a bit of attacking, and it looks to me as though there may be a slight breeze blowing to the end to which the Cats are kicking in this first term. We'll know in the second quarter. The mark out there taken by Poole. Poole's long kick to between wing and half forward. At the back, Lindsay can't control it. The two number 32s, and a bit of fire in both of them, I would suggest. Gary Hocking and Bruce Lindsay for the Crows. There's Micken, and doing the ruck work is Stoneham for the Cats.
Micken over the back. Kelly from half back. Hooper should take it. Didn't quite get that far. Taken by Hinkley. Two bounces. Attacks the goal front with a wonderful kick. Brownless, not quite. Smart. Runs towards the boundary line. Free kick will come back to Smart. Got rid of it, held on to by Malakalis. So Crow kick in the back pocket.
Did well to get his footing after the marking contest with Brownless.
You can't fall over in the back pocket under that sort of pressure. Not in this competition. Micken is going to be paid. He's in dispute over his contract this week, but it's all sorted out and he's playing for the Crows. He's kicked towards the centre wing. Now Schultz out of bounds after Klug couldn't take the mark. So 3-3 to 3 goals. It's 21-18 in the dying moments of this first quarter. Just over 2 minutes remaining.
There's a little sign out there, Brownless, our new god. Gee, he's got big boots to fit into, Billy Brownless. The kick goes back towards the centre. Klug beaten for it by Hinkley. Little bit of fancy Dan stuff there by Hinkley.
Oh.
And now Stephen Hocking went for the hand pass. He's caught. Jarman, Marshall. Combination not bad. Hodges overruns it. Neal's under pressure. He keeps the ball. He could be penalised. He is. Umpire in a magnificent position for that decision. And Hodges, look at the fans here at Football Park. They're excited. Their hero, Scott Hodges, has the free kick about 30 metres out.
That is the wrong decision on that occasion by the umpire, because Neil was definitely trying to get that ball on.
And he also had an opportunity when he first took possession of the ball to give it to the Geelong player. The kick high and long is offline, and maybe justice prevails. Hodges kicks his third behind. He's kicked 1-3. Adelaide 3-4, lead by 4 points. Geelong are 3 goals as Neal kicks in to this member's side.
Short to Mansfield from half back. Very promising player. Brownless was the target. Smart with him. Taken by Hocking. Just gets rid of it very quickly. Did well. Buse leaves it for Bairstow. For Hinkley, who can kick some miraculous goals, but he's playing on the back line. Smart had to sit under it. Buse rode his back. Hip and shoulder there by Thompson. He's besieged.
Oh, now.
Smart, go on, Dom, what were you going to say?
That was a throw.
Against Smart, not paid, so it'll be a ball up.
The interesting thing about the way these Crows, they're really going hard at the ball, and a lot of these Geelong players are put under duress and they're handballing. Their first instant thought is to handball. The ball is really hot. They want to get rid of it.
Here's Schwert. Left foot to centre half forward. Schultz going back on it with Hocking. Klug. The give was good to Filkey. High one. Lindner should take it. He does. 50 metres out. He could nearly kick this if he has a go. It's a long kick normally. He's erratic, but he can really kick a footy. Drop punt is a good one. Right there. Klug at the back takes the mark.
There's a push out.
Free kick against him. And the siren sounds and the Crows lead by 4 points at quarter time. It's 3-4-22 to Geelong 3 goals 18. Quarter time, Adelaide Crows 3-4-22. Geelong 3 goals 18. Max Stevens has got close to Malcolm Blight. Couldn't get quite so close to Graham Corns. Max, what can you report for us?
Well, Malcolm Blight, Bruce, wants his boys to man up a little more and be first to the ball, and he said if we can carry on that way, we're going to be able to get back into this game. Not that they're out of it just yet. On the other hand, as you said, Graham Corns, we had a little trouble over there. Neil Curley told us that we weren't wanted around the huddle at quarter time.
Max Stevens reporting from the ground. Thanks for that, Max. So Graham Corns should be pretty happy. There's Malcolm Blight with Hinkley and Mansfield.
I think both coaches would be very impressed with the first quarter. Bruce, Don mentioned about the Crows going hard at the football and putting pressure on, and that's what it's all about, Don, really. And, you know, this footy.
Well, if you know, the prerequisite, and a lot of people forget it, is you've got to win the ball. And the Crows want to win the ball, then they'll set it up. If they continue wanting to win the ball, eventually the percentages say we've got to capitalise. And it's a terrific effort by the Crows at the moment because they're not a big side.
Are you impressed with Hodges at full forward?
Well, I am, but I'm also impressed with their forward line because it's a very disciplined forward line. They're giving him plenty of room in which to lead. And the other thing about Hodges, he does chase on occasions. Once or twice there, Neil has got away from him. But on a couple of occasions, he's also got a defensive side, shown he's got a bit of a defence to his game.
I like that number 40, Bruce. I think you said that he's taken Tregenza's place on the wing. Schwert
played well.
And he's done very well. He looks as though he could adapt to the AFL quite nicely.
Hodges, Lindner and Hart the goal scorers, and Scott got 2 and Paul 1 for Geelong.
Incidentally, that Schwert was drafted by the Eagles in 1989, number 78. So that's interesting.
So the Crows to the left, Geelong to the right. Start of the second term, 22-18, first round of the Foster's Cup. Micken doing the ruck work here against Burke. Lindner, who tries to crash and barge his way through, and he's gone for holding the ball, and Couch will get the kick out of the centre.
He's inspired tonight, Lindner. I haven't seen him do that before, race off the square as he did on that occasion.
Not a good result, though. Might have tried to dash through, but he's given the footy up to Couch to half forward. Oh, good mark by Brownless.
A bit of class about that mark.
Well, we know he's a thumping kick. He's 55 to 60 metres out.
Now that bruise has sprung up too.
Brownless to the goal square. Hooper at the back. Malakalis with him, Lee. Scott has already kicked 2. Misses Bairstow. Buse went without it. Just took his eye off it. McDermott's left foot to centre wing. Jarman outpaced for the moment by Mansfield. Jarman keeps the pressure on. Filkey, the back turn okay. McDermott, Jarman. Good football, Crows. To centre half forward. Klug in the front spot. At the back, Hart, he should give it to him. Decides not to. He's got Lindner. Doesn't go for him. Had Lindner at centre half forward. Hodges cleverly kneeled with him. Kneeled still with him. No free kick. Here's Hart. Should goal. One bounce. And he puts it through. And don't they love it here? It's 4-4 to 3 goals.
And that's Daryl Hart's second goal. As I said earlier, he's not over-endowed with speed, Hart, but he really does know where the ball is going. Has got tremendous anticipation. Good fighting here by Hodges. Nell, good battle. And there he is running loose, Hart. And his second.
Jarman set that up on centre wing because Mansfield was away with it, wasn't he?
I think you mentioned, Bruce, that he was lacking a yard in pace, but he made up the ground, did the tackle, eventually got the hand pass back from his teammate after doing all the hard work and forced the ball basically into the forward line, and it finished with a goal to Hart. So they're doing pretty well. Buse can't get the ball out. Bairstow maybe around the neck. No, it's not. And the umpire, close to the action, decides on a bounce, only 2 metres away from the centre circle. So the Crows doing pretty well. The pace of the game, fairly fierce. Bit of aerial stuff there. McDermott, left foot kick. McCrabb over the top. Opportunity now. Lindner off the ground. Is that a goal? It is! Mercurial stuff by Bruce Lindner, summing it up. That was all he could do. And Palais style has put it through for the Crows' 5th goal.
Well, here it is. And the other impressive thing about the Crows is they're not going short. They're going long into their forward line. And that is the way to play football. Go long out of the centre. And then if it does come off the hands of the pack, you run past in numbers. There's only one number, and that was Lindner. Well done.
So the Crows get the first goal of the second term. Burke, Micken, second goal. Hart got the first, Lindner got the second. They're into attack again. Big punch by Neil. Oh, Lindner nearly had it again. Coming through is Mansfield. Mansfield across centre half back, kicks it wide to the wing on this member's side. Nearly a mark there to Kelly, was it? And the opportunity for Lindsay, the kick into the pocket, a little too high for Hart. Gee, they've got players everywhere. What can Hart do again? He's dogged it. The Crows 6th. Hart gets his third, and Football Park is alive and well. Look at the fans, they're just going absolutely berserk here. And Daryl Hart has led from the front, he's kicked his third.
Well, the start is also coming in the ruck, and that is where Micken is getting the first hand on the ball. Being a left footer, he's upsetting Burke. And he is starting the Adelaide team on the right way by getting the ball running, and the rest of the fellows are then rallying behind.
40-18. Burke and Micken. It's a substantial break, early days yet. And Geelong has as much to play for tonight as the Adelaide Crows. They will not lie down, these Cats. Bairstow, the champion who went missing last year, towards full forward. No free kick to Scott, in fact against him. Kelly comes away, advantage play. Kelly from centre half back. Lindner the target. Outnumbered McCrabb. Burke, caught by Filkey. Well played, couldn't get it away. Jarman with his quick hands. McGuinness has been quiet. The little give was very good. Got to Bairstow, then to Hinkley. Hinkley to half forward. Hocking's got it. Been quiet. He's got Brownless very short. He's got to Bruns about 20 metres away. Goes to the pocket to Scott. Thompson with him. Warhurst to Micken. A lot of his good players in defence to Marshall. He's got Filkey. Will it get to him? It sits now. Goes backwards. Goes to half forward. They've got a paddock here for McDermott. Will it sit? He can go all the way. He can bounce as many times as he like. He'll hit Hodges on the chest. It was wonderful footy. Lace out that.
Now Hodges is already on the way before McDermott had picked that ball up. He got away, and there was just no way the fullback Neil could have cut this off.
Important kick here, Don. He really should kick this. High quality full forward from 45 metres, drop punt, and he's missed again.
Well, that's his 4th point.
And that really would have been a beauty for the Crows at 6-5 to 3 goals.
And the goal he kicked was a questionable one, Bruce, in the first quarter. The one that we all thought hit the post, that maybe went over the goal line and the wind brought it back and hit the back of the post. So he may have a perfect score of 5 behinds except for that kick. The kick by Neil comes into the back half-back flank area. The Crows have got the numbers. A little flip on. Chance for Filkey. Lovely kick with the left, but he hooked it a little too far, and it's through for a behind. So the Crows are doing all the attacking in this second term. They go on to 6-6. Geelong are 3 goals. And it's a long time between drinks for Geelong. I'd suggest that they kick their 3rd goal about halfway through that first quarter.
Well, they've kicked the last 3 goals for the Crows. It was 3-2 to 3 goals when they kicked it in. To half forward. McGuinness. Plenty of time. Drop punt to the pocket. Hodges again. Well, he's too good at the moment, except he just can't kick a goal. Kicked 1 goal, 4. And the surprising thing there was that McGuinness had a long time to get rid of the football. There was no pressure at all.
I think if I was Malcolm Blight, I'd be making a change at fullback. That occasion, Neil was just too far behind. He's got to tighten up. Excusable when he's on a quick lead, Hodges.
And he's just missed again. So 1-5 to Hodges. And it's 13 shots to 3 at the moment.
Don, if you were suggest making a change, who would you put back there?
Schulz.
Neil elects to go to the opposite side, the outer side. Long kick and a good mark taken by Brownless. He's dumped by Lindner as he goes to the ground, but pretty strong, Billy Brownless. The kick long now towards half forward and a good mark taken by Bairstow. And he's done pretty well in the early part of his 1991 campaign, Mark Bairstow. The kick towards centre half forward, no mark taken, punched away, opportunity for Couch. Over the top of him there was Kelly, and the umpire will call for a bounce. So the Cats probably missing Gary Ablett, do you think, up on their forward line, Don?
Well,
I know it's early to say, but
I don't think they're missing him at this stage because they're not getting the ball down there. When they did get it down there in the first quarter, 3 goals, but they haven't really got the ball down there in the second quarter.
Burke and Micken, Jarman.
To the centre, Hinkley cleverly to Paul.
Should have kicked it, Hinkley.
Didn't look, Paul, when he got rid of it. They're just shell-shocked a bit at the moment. Bairstow with some strength to Mansfield. Can set it up here, but the handball's awful to Hocking.
Well, he hasn't got a right foot, Mansfield. He's a left footer.
Free kick to the Crows.
Yeah, I think Malcolm Blight would have his head in his hands after that little passage of play.
Filkey's kick to Marshall. McDermott's on his own if he wants him. He'll go there now. Bruns will come in late. No mark paid. Gee, worked hard, didn't he, McDermott still. He'll go back to Marshall. Marshall with a hurried kick, not a good one. Burke underneath it. Big fella missed it under some pressure. Hinkley just tries to chip it away. Missed everybody. McGuinness, who should run away from Gary Hocking. He's got Couch. Goes back to McDermott, who's getting some kicks to centre half forward. Linden the front spot against McCrabb. McCrabb over the top of him. No free kick to Geelong there. Yes, finally there is. And Stoneham's got it at centre half back.
Gee, they've struggled, the Cats. Stoneham short pass into Bruns, defensive side of centre. Runs up towards the centre circle, kicks it wide of centre half forward. And a great mark taken out there by Brownless, and Don, you're impressed.
My word, that was a 2-on-1 situation, and that was great effort by Brownless.
Brownless kicks to within goal scoring distance. No mark there for the Cats. They've got an opportunity here. Poole, can he get his right foot to the ball? He does. And he kicks it into the pocket. The mark is taken by Thompson. So Thompson for the Crows in the back pocket. Will kick it back outside 50 metres. Up high, over the top there was Maynard. Couldn't take the mark. Now a kick there for Geelong by Stoneham, was it? Stoneham's kick in a hurry.
He's a better player than that, Stoneham.
And, well, Don, you've mentioned it really was a shocking kick in the finish.
Thompson from the back pocket. Micken the target. Burke at the back. Lindsay. Gee, did that well. Filkey's had 100 touches. Well, I don't know if Maynard was ready for it, but he's got it now. Again towards Hodges. It sits. Didn't take it. Neald interfered with by his own player. Klug's handball to McGuinness is very good. He's got the pace to go. Right foot. It goes through. It's another one. And they're on fire. It's 7-7 to 3 goals, and don't they lap it up?
Hey, you wouldn't want to be here in the morning, Bruce, would you? I'm getting out at 6 o'clock. You won't want to read the papers or anything here, Don, would you?
Oh no, they're playing inspired football, and their forward line is terrific. They'll come up the ground, and then they'll run down in waves past the contest, and that's where they're doing it really well, the Crows.
So back in the centre, and the fans have really enjoyed this early part. Bruns tackled but got his foot to the ball. Mark taken by Maynard. So their defence is working pretty well. There's a few unfashionable looking characters back there, but gee, they're effective. Klug pushes Schultz out, and Schultz will take the free kick at centre half back for Geelong.
Well, they're prepared to hassle Ian, and they're really putting a lot of duress and a lot of pressure on the Geelong fellows when they've got the ball. Consequently, the kicks are not going where they're supposed to, and they're going high, and that gives them an opportunity.
Punch goes back towards centre half back. Tony McAllis shrugs the tackle and then gets the kick away back towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Maynard, one of the unfashionable ones. This time handballs to Smart, and around the neck to Smart, and he runs away. Poor marking by Geelong. Goes to give the hand pass, then kicks it, and from a fairly well standing start, kicks it 50 metres, but Burke takes the mark at centre half back for Geelong.
And Lindner's going off, and he's going straight up the race, so obviously there's something wrong with him. Medical men are in hot pursuit, and coming on is that Eddie Hocking, the interchange specialist.
Jarman just taps it forward to Marshall, who goes to ground, wants a free kick, won't get it. Chance here now for Schwert. Been quieter in this quarter. The give to Jarman, his hands are quick to Lindsay. A high one. Hodges is outnumbered. Too far for McGuinness. Hocking versus Hocking. They hit one another. It was Eddie and Gary. McDermott Well played. Did it beautifully to Micken with a high one to the goal square. Hodges again outnumbered. It sits. Kelly, well played though by Hinkley. Hocking's handball. Filkey gave it away in a hurry to Kelly. Run down. Good play by the Cats there. They were under pressure and they got away with it. The kick to centre wing. A floater. And it'll run out of play. And they stood firm there against the tide.
They're still interested in the handball, Geelong. In a pressure game like this, better to get it on your boot. McCrabb on that occasion got it and looked for a handball, but then decided, no, I'll go long kick.
Micken over the top. Hooper in there. McDermott, he works very, very hard. Jarman and Kelly goes back to Hocking. Hocking gets the hand pass away to Micken. Micken's left foot kick. Inside 50. Hodges, good punch away by the Geelong defence. Opportunity now for Mansfield. He's well caught. Brilliantly caught there for the Crows by Schwerk. And he's rewarded with a free kick. So Mansfield, a youngster. No excuses because there's a few youngsters in the Crows lineup. He'll kick from just outside 50 metres. Long drop punt kick into the square. Punched away by the strong Geelong defence there. And it's over for a rush behind to the Crows.
And Poole has gone off for Geelong. And Exel is going onto the wing.
Max, what's the situation with Bruce Lindner?
Well, Bruce, he's just come back out of the rooms, and it appears, according to the doctors, the Adelaide Crow doctors, he has a slight problem with his hamstring. However, it's not that much of a worry, and he should be back on the ground shortly.
Well, it's 15 shots to 3. Lindsay almost. Marshall. Back to Lindsay. High one. Hodges one out. Getting back Schultz to help out Hodges almost. Klug had to wait for it. Didn't do all that well. Malakalis did very well to Neeld, who got rid of it in a hurry. The give by Hart was good. McGuinness's shot, he really could have done better.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, the handball. It came out quickly from Neeld. He could have kicked the ball. Anyway, it finished up in McGuinness's hands and nearly a major.
There's Lindner with the slight hamstring, as Max Stevens told us, but gee, Robbo, they've had 16 shots to 3. They should be 10 goals in front.
And they've played very well, Bruce. Yes, they've got the ball in the front of the goals. Just a little bit of bad luck with their goal scoring. And the main offender there, Hodges, who's kicked 1 goal 5. Gary Hocking, a quick kick out of the pack, goes back towards the wing. And the mark is taken back there by Lee. Lee kicks it back towards full forward. Hodges. Geelong getting back there a little bit better now to help out the fullback Neeld. Ball comes wide. Opportunity for Devlin. He's caught. Gets the handball to McCrabb. Goes out to Tony Malakalis. They need a lift around the packs, the Cats. Malakalis it is. The kick towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Now a chance for Scott. Scott's long kick. It may bounce through. It's right up into the goal line, but it goes through for a behind. And the fans here, ironic cheers, because it's Geelong's first score.
And Mansfield
since well in the first term.
Mansfield off for Geelong and coming back on Stephen Hocking.
Just had a shot of Negri. That's a poor kick by Warhurst. Bruns can make him pay with a drop punt. And he looks like he has.
Well, you know when they kick a goal, the visitors over here in Adelaide, because there is no reaction whatsoever. Neville Bruns read that well and really did ride that ball through as he let it go. Here he is on screen. Bruns coming in. Throws the dummy. And then as the ball is in flight, he rides it through.
And Neville Bruns, who has just kicked Geelong's 4th goal, very, very importantly, getting plenty of water splashed over his face. Very hot conditions out here this evening. Hart just gets a little kick to it to the advantage of Hocking. Hocking outside 50. Left foot kick into the pocket. Good mark. Excellent mark taken by Schultz. He runs across at the goal front. Kicks it into the opposite pocket. The mark is taken by Hinkley. He's still looking to give it off. The hand pass is okay to Gary Hocking. Gary Hocking now kicks it over the centre wing. There's no one home for Geelong, and the mark is taken by Maynard for the Crows between wing and half back. Maynard's high drop punt kick goes back towards half forward. High flyer at the back. Nearly took the grab was Klug. Kick off the ground by Gary Hocking. Goes to Buse. He's caught with the football. Goes after it again. Runs away with it now, and the short pass could be okay. The mark is taken wide at half back by Exel.
Well, it was a high five by Klug, but he's not getting enough kicks at centre-half forward at the moment. Schultz doing the job on him. Exel to centre wing. A bit of a push and shove. Off the ground by Bairstow. And the Cats have got a chance if they can kick another one or two before half-time. You just get the feeling that they're right back in this.
I'd like to see Geelong play Exel up in the forward line. He has kicked goals at full forward. Maybe get their ruckman to change off the bench.
Stoneham using his body. Gets a quick kick away, only as far as Lindsay to McGuinness. His hurried kick, Exel, and going to ground Kelly. Hinkley, he's had a lot of touches. Exel, high one to centre half forward. They have to sit. Schwert takes the mark. He's been a winner on his wing. Runs against him. Schwert looks for Klug. Missed by Hooper at the back. McCrabb. Little give to Exel. Filkey just sweats on him, so does Jarman. They want a free kick. Jarman scoops it out to Klug. He's got hard inside of him. Could have gone in, goes to Hodges.
It's hard for a full-back when there's so much space in front of the full forward, and Hodges is an exceptional lead, and there is going to be a 50... No, only a 10-metre penalty. No, 50-metre, he's going to pull him right back.
And he gets the opportunity to kick from right in front, no angle. Is this a new rule, Bruce?
Well, I guess he's only 30 metres out, so he's brought him right up and straightened him up, and he's kicked the goal. So Hodges has kicked 2-5, and the Crows go to 8-9 to 4-1 as they make a couple of substitutions. Hard off, Smith comes on, and Negri's gone on.
So Darren Smith with his first taste for the evening, and Hodges kicking his second goal after 5 behind, so he'd be happy with that. So Negri doing the ruck work now, up against Hooper. Bairstow, kick off the ground there by Lee. Goes through Felke. After it there goes Kelly. Opportunity for Lee. Lee just gets his foot to the ball. They're in attack again. Smith, will it sit? Oh, he could have grabbed it. Bad mistake, no talking. Neal comes clear and kicks it short to half-back. They'll go into attack again, the Crows. Felke, handball. Jarman under pressure. So are the Cats at half-back. Klug gets the handball out. Couch, with time to steady, gets his left foot to the ball, kicks it high back into the centre. There's no one home. Lindsay misses a sitter. Gary Hocking gathers the football beautifully, delivers the handball long to Brownless, and Brownless goes for goal with a long drop punt kick and pulls it, missing to the left.
Well, that was a deliberate shot by Brownless, because he really did steady to make sure of it.
And a brilliant setup by Gary Hocking's magnificent handball.
Marshall from Warhurst. Hocking will be the target. It's got him at centre wing. Negri is loose if he wants him. Klug the target now. Schultz against him. Klug with Negri inside of him. Can't get rid of it. Now Negri in the pocket. A floater. Hodges sitting down. Maynard. Snap. Goal. Hits the post. Maynard, the centre half back, coming right up the ground. They can't believe it here, the Crow fans, but it's 8-10 to 4-2. 18 shots to 6, 57 to 26.
Neither could I. When you said Maynard, I had to have a second look, Bruce. Kneeled. Long kick from the full-back position. Wide to half-back, and a great mark taken by Smith. He's inspired. Kick into the man on the mark. Now a shot by Kelly. Long kick. Crows fans on their feet, and it's another goal. Magnificent kick by Matthew Kelly. Gets the Crows' 9th goal.
Well, they're hot, the Crows, because the fact is they've gone in hard for the ball early, and now everything they're starting to reap the reward, because the ball is definitely running their way now. They made it run their way early on, and just let's hope they can continue in the same way. Kelly, a good goal.
Pugnacious looking young fellow is Kelly, and there's another man who's dead set keen to get at the pigskin. Negri, the ruckman. Hooper beats him for it. Coming through is Schwert. The ball still at the centre. Gary Hocking tries to get it clear. He can't. Now McGuinness. Desperate stuff by the acting captain. The kick to a vacant half-forward area. The race is on between Hocking. Number 25 for Geelong there is Devlin. It's close to the boundary line. Devlin goes back after it again. Gathers it nicely. Short pass is okay. And the mark is taken by Bairstow. The Crows fans looking for the free kick. Bairstow from centre half back. Kicks it back into the centre. The marking contest. A good punch from behind. There by Smart. The ball comes back towards Marshall.
Free kick.
It could have nearly been a free kick. Negri. Now Stephen Hocking. Tony Malacallis. A quick kick out of the pack. Up towards full forward. No mark. Lindsay working overtime. Gets it to Lee. Lee's got support, but Brownless kicks the ball away from Warhurst. Out there wide is Couch, but desperate stuff by Lee. And the inspired Crows combination are holding up well against the Geelong attacks. There's Trevor Poole on the bench there for Geelong. And he's had an interesting first half. He did kick the Cats' first goal, though.
38 points the margin. Thompson still in play. Views. Gary Hocking with a high one. Brownless the target as always. Warhurst at the back. Negri. Well, the give wasn't good. McGuinness had the skill to get it. Brownless runs him down. Quick kick by McGuinness. Jarman, who we saw his brother make his debut for Hawthorn last Wednesday night in a spectacular display. Devlin with the height against Hocking.
Should have punched it on that occasion. Devlin tried to mark from behind.
And out of bounds. I think that's what they were calling for the last time when Hocking was against Devlin. Centre wing. 3 minutes remaining. It's a big lead for the Crows. The quick give by Hocking didn't go anywhere. Now Eddie Hocking. 3 Hockings out there. 1 for the Crows and 2 for the Cats. McCrabb. High left foot. Malacallis underneath it. Smart, or rather Smith comes in late. Nice give by Buse to Malacallis from centre wing. Couch the target. Lindsay against him. Brownless. Warhurst, it was Burt rather. Negri with a drop punt towards centre wing. Little Hocking has to go against 3 Cats.
They've got some numbers now, Geelong. Stephen Hocking feeds it off to Bruns. Bruns goes for the torpedo punt kick. It slews off the side of his boot. Nearly taking the mark there was Kelly. Bairstow could have been nearly around the neck. No, play on. Lindsay shares it with McDermott, who in turn goes to McGuinness, and McGuinness has kicked to half forward. Nearly the mark to Smith. Could have been paid. McCrabb, very dour in defence, and the free kick may go down the field against Darren Smith, and it will go to Geelong's player in there in Devlin. Devlin backwards of the centre circle onto the left foot. The kick towards half forward, and Brownless takes a one-hander and makes it look easy against young Smart. Brownless's kick in towards full forward. No mark. Oh, strong play.
Thompson.
Good play there by the Crows defender. Goes straight up the centre.
That's better.
Coming clear now, McCrabb. McCrabb's kick towards centre half forward. 2-on-1. It's nearly a Geelong mark, and it has been paid to Damien Burke. Crows fans really not happy with that one. Bruce, what do you think?
What am I, Ian?
You're a very honest commentator, and I could say that you'd be looking at this with fair eyes.
I thought Negri got his hands on the footy at the same time as Burke. Burke came down with it. I would have played play on.
Play on, or maybe a ball up. But Burke has it, 30 metres out. Drop punt kick, looks pretty good from here. Goal umpire signals a goal. So Damien Burke gets his first goal, and the Geelong team hit back, although they still trail by 32 points. They're 5-2, and the Crows are 9-10.
Well, I'm critical of having Burke and Hooper up there, but Burke paid his way on that occasion, taking that mark. He injured himself earlier when he went for the fly when the ball came down last time. It was a good kick from goal from the big fellow, who's had a real injury-interrupted career.
Just over a minute remaining in this first half, and it's 64-32. Double the score at this stage. Negri up against Hooper. Bairstow in the centre couldn't take it. Schwert has to go backwards. Smart. High one round his body. Smith should take it. McCrabb will come in late. Did well. Bruns was able to feed it. Quick kick by Bruns back towards centre wing. Schwert tapped it away for Lee. To Schwert. They can set it up here. Marshall, the loose man. He went to Hocking now. Marshall, the Gibbs, very good. Marshall's a very strong kick normally. He goes to Hodges at centre half forward. About 3 against him. McGuinness, high right footer. Hinkley back and takes a good mark.
It's good play by McGuinness to get underneath Hodges, realising there was a 3-on-1. The ball was going to come to ground, and that's roving.
Don, the Cats are doing well to get those 3 back in a hurry on Hodges every time he goes for it. Negri, Jarman, Marshall goes to ground. Hocking with some pace. Well, he's only 35 metres out. Drop punt, and he misses. So that would have really made it tough for Geelong. It's 5-2 to 9-11.
He has got blistering pace, that Eddie Hockey.
Neeld will kick the ball back into play for the Cats. Their defence has been working overtime in this second term. At quarter time, the Crows had kicked 3-4. There's the siren to end the second term. So you can now gauge that the Crows completely dominated that second term, and their fans are on their feet clapping their charges off the ground. At half-time, the Crows lead 9-11 to Geelong 5-2.
Just around, ladies and gentlemen, series tickets for the Cameron Crows, home matches, until the reserve seat. Those tickets for Foster's Cup Games played in Adelaide are now on sale at all Bass Snowflakes. Please ensure you have a ticket to watch the Cameron Crows action in 1991.
That's a half-time score. Adelaide 9-11. They kicked 6-7 in the second quarter. Geelong 5-2. The Crows by 33 points over the Cats at half-time. And don't the crowd here absolutely love it. More than 20,000 at Football Park as we take a look at the draw for the Foster's Cup. And firstly, the top half we see is a very, very strong half with Essendon against Carlton in the quarter-final and Hawthorn up against Brisbane in the other quarter-final. Now, Adelaide and Geelong are both in the bottom half of the draw. They're playing first-round matches tonight. They play the winner of St Kilda West Coast, and then we see Melbourne, Richmond, and Sydney and North Melbourne. So they're the matches coming up. Now, immediately coming up, Saturday night, AFL Foster's Cup. It's St Kilda against West Coast. Should be a tremendous match from Waverley. Just check your local guides for the television coverage of that. And then next Wednesday night, that's a week from today, it's Melbourne against Richmond, also from Waverley, February the 20th. So as I said, just check your guides for those two Foster's Cup matches coming up shortly through 7 Sport. Well, the Cats were shell-shocked in that second term. It was all the Crows. Max Stevens is down in the Geelong room.
Well, Bruce, as one would expect down here in the Geelong rooms, very, very, very low key. Malcolm Blight has just taken the players behind closed doors, and just faintly in the background I can hear him starting to wind up and tell the fellas that they've really got to push along to get back in this game if they do in fact get back in it. Now, as far as Adelaide's concerned, Graham Corns has made his intentions early. No one from the media, Channel 7 or any of the newspapers are allowed in the Adelaide Crows rooms.
Okay, Max, thanks very much for that. Coming up after the break, Scott Palmer and his punchlines. I wonder what he's got for us this week. Remember last week? Gary Ablett.
Hi, I'm Tom Warhurst from the Adelaide Crows, and you're watching AFL Live on 7.
You there, Bruce?
Okay, mate. Scotty.
Yes, Bruce.
Talk
how
to
are
me,
you?
mate. I'm well, mate. They're playing well.
Oh, I'm shocked.
What do you got, mate?
Listen, we're the 16th club. There's only they're going to be a recommendation in Perth at the end of this month. The 16th club be formed over there.
Okay, is it from Fremantle?
That's from Fremantle, yes.
Okay, no worries. So 16th club, yeah.
Essendon has got the final word from Anthropos today.
Yep.
He's gone.
Okay.
They've also dropped Justin Stubbs, a young Tasmanian.
Okay.
His fitness wasn't up to scratch.
Is Madden sweet? Is that all sweet?
No. By the way, Simon Madden's signature only a few days away, according to Bombers.
Okay.
Big decision in Perth today.
Perth, yep.
The Eagles they'll have dual sponsors. They'll wear two logos.
Two logos.
One when they're away and one when they're at home.
No worries,
Hungry
okay.
Jacks. And John Worsfold was officially named captain today.
Who was?
John Worsfold.
Worsfold, right.
Adrian Barrich has been sought interest by the Brisbane Bears. He could be
Okay.
dropped off the list by the Eagles.
Yep.
He'll be the 15th West Australian player in Brisbane if they get him.
So it's Adrian Burridge.
Yeah.
15th W, yep.
And Gary Pertz arrived back from holidays. Big discussions with Fitzroy. Hope he doesn't drop off the list.
Kurt with Fitzroy, okay.
But
mate.
another thing, Bruce,
Yep.
you can mention over there,
Yep.
if the Crows win tonight,
Yep.
and if the Eagles win on Wednesday night,
Yep.
the match will be shifted to the Wacker.
It's Saturday night the Eagles are playing, mate.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Okay, mate.
If they win, it'll
Yep.
be shifted away from AFL Park to West Australia.
Okay, no worries. Okay, well, we'll start with that 16th club.
Yeah, okay.
See how you go for time, Donny, for Scotty.
Right here, mate.
Donny, those tab... Melbourne Tabaret Sportsbook. Hawthorn into 5-4 for the Foster's Cup. North Melbourne in the bottom half of the draw at 5s, but take a look at that. Geelong at 6-1 and Adelaide at 20-1. I reckon right now the Cats would be out to about 100-1 to win the Foster's Cup, and Adelaide would be the big shortener. So if you fancy your team, they're the odds on the Melbourne Tabaret Sportsbook. The score here, it's the Cats 9-11 or the Crows 9-11 to the Cats 5-2. Well, last week Scotty Palmer told the whole world about Gary Ablett. Scott, congratulations. Well done. What have you got this week, mate?
Well,
what about
Bruce,
that Perth 16th club?
Yes, well, we're not even accustomed to 15 clubs yet and a bye, and already there's plans afoot. In fact, they're right on our doorstep to establish a 16th club. A special subcommittee in Perth is only a few days away. In fact, the end of February, they'll announce that probably that we want a second club in Perth. It'll come from Fremantle, and that could even up the bye in 1992.
What's the latest with Tony Antropos and the Essendon Footy Club?
He told Essendon today he's staying in Adelaide, so that's the end of that. They've also dropped Justin Stubbs, a young kid who broke into the senior side from Launceston last year. I hear his fitness wasn't up to scratch, and of course Simon Madden is only days away from signing his contract, according to Bomber officials.
Now, what's this about the West Coast Eagles wearing 2 sets of logos? They've got 2 sponsors, have they?
Big decision today, $1 million sponsorship. They're going to have a special logo when they're away, the Hungry Jacks, and when they play at home, they're going to have the state insurance. And of course, Johnny Worsfold was officially named captain of the Eagles today.
Well, don't tell me the Brisbane Bears are interested in another Perth-based player, are they?
Yes, well, of course, there's 15 of them up there if Adrian Barrich gets there. Adrian is one of 4 players whose position's a little bit dicey over there at the Eagles. If he's dropped, he'll probably be picked up by the Bears, and up he goes for the 15th Perth player in the Eagles, in the Bears lineup.
Scotty, what's the latest with Gary Pert and the Fitzroy?
He's back from holidays, and Fitzroy are waiting to have talks with him. It's a very crucial week for them. I'm just hoping there's a compromise reached and Gary can come to terms. Otherwise, who knows, he could be dropped off the list by the Lions.
Well, they're going mad here in Adelaide at the moment. Now, what happens if Adelaide wins tonight against Geelong and West Coast beats St Kilda on Saturday night? Where will that game be played?
The league told us today that match will be switched from AFL Park over to the Wacker. That's the first of the big changes with the interstate clubs, Bruce.
It sure will. Thanks for that, Scotty. Keep punching.
Good on you, mate.
And we'll talk to you on Saturday night from that Foster's Cup match. So they are going absolutely wild here in Adelaide. 25,000 fans, and they're celebrating already. They reckon the Crows are home. Well, Malcolm Blight and the Cats will have something to say about that when we return after this break. Big crowded football park. 9-11 to 5-2 at half-time. Crows back on the field. Well, tomorrow on 7 Sport, the opening round of the Pyramid Australia Masters from Huntingdale. It's from noon Eastern time. Norman, will he win it for the 7th time? Grady, Baker, Finch, Davis and Patton, just to name a few of the great players there. And the first round of the Australian Touring Car Championship from Sandown, Sunday the 24th of February. And the big move there is that Brock has gone back to Commodore with Perkins. As we take a look at the match stats to half-time.
And quickly looking at it, it's dominated by Adelaide. The interesting one down there is centre breaks, and I'd like a stat on the hard balls because the Adelaide team would be way in front of the Geelong side. They're prepared to risk themselves. As has been mentioned, they're not fashionable footballers, some of those guys, but they're fit, they're prepared to run in a straight line, and they will harass their opponents, and that's why they're in the game. And then they're capitalising on it because they've got more numbers around the ball, and they're doing exceptionally well at the moment. And, you know, Geelong really will have to lift their socks. They'll just have to commit themselves a little harder in this second half if they want to get back into the game. In fact, they've just got to risk their bodies.
Yes, I think Malcolm Blight would have a few worries there at half-time.
Well, one fella...
they just need a little bit more, I think, from players around the middle of the field, Don, where the game starts, the centre bounce. They're not getting enough out of players like Robert Scott, Tony Malachellis. Even Gary Hocking is under enormous pressure when he gets the football. He's trying to be creative. Bairstow as well. They put lots and lots of pressure on Bairstow.
But they're all touch players, aren't they? Like the guy there in screen there giving encouragement, Schulz. Now, he's the centre-half back. He's on Klug. Now, he's probably their best player. He's not a fashionable player, but he puts himself in front. He'll take the risk. You can see on the other side of his face, he's got a tremendous grace from putting himself in front and then getting crushed by the pack in the first quarter. But he is doing what's required in football, and then you get the ball going their way. So they can take a leaf out of Schulz's book. The rest of them, they may come back into it.
You still need, Bruce, I think, the classy players to kick a bag of goals quickly. You need players that use the ball well, and that's why I said to you during the second term, and that's interesting there, that looks like Couch starting this third term on the bench. He just looked a little proppy in the second term, as though he may have copped a corky.
He just looks in a bit of pain there, doesn't he?
Yep.
That Poole with him?
That's Poole, yes.
So that's two of their really experienced players and two of their big guns across centre.
I just wonder whether Poole had been dragged earlier.
He had been dragged, my word,
for quite a while. But you just get the impression that these guys, with the advantage, I really do think there is a definite advantage here. We have seen state teams come over here and get belted by South Australian state teams, and then last year we reversed it, went to the MCG, and Victoria won comfortably, right? Now, this is going to happen this year with this team. They're going to play 11 games here with 2 byes, and certainly they will be inspired. They'll have the support. We haven't got a huge crowd. We've got a capacity crowd tonight, but I can guarantee that if this team starts off with wins against Hawthorn and Carlton in the early games of the roster series, there'll be fans here clamouring to get in the gate to follow this club.
So you give them some chance of making the finals?
My word, there's been no doubt in my mind since they joined the competition, Bruce, purely and simply because of what do you call it? Emotion. Just the emotion of football. It has carried some good teams to victory over some magnificent Victorian sides here in Adelaide.
Well, that's for the future. But right now, it's 65-32. It really was one-way traffic for a while in that second term. Cats to the left of screen and the Crows to the right. Geelong against Adelaide, first round of the Foster's Cup. Micken, Andrew Jarman, doesn't go very far. Exel underneath it, went through his fingers, taken by Stoneham playing in defence. Chips away a short one, finds Bairstow at half forward. Couple of quick goals by the Cats would really put them back in this. Bairstow sizes it up, measures it, kicks it very strongly and through from behind. So it's 5-3 to 9-11.
Well, that was a better start by Geelong. It was Burke who got the ball out of the centre, although Jarman came in and swooped on that hit out.
And that really, Don, that was something that didn't happen in the first half. The space that Bairstow had was unbelievable. The kick in goes to Kelly. Kelly swings around onto the right foot and kicks it high back towards the wing. Nearly a Geelong mark to Hinkley. Strong play by the Crows. They force it forward. Filkey gets the handball wide. Leaving it behind is Klug. He could have nearly been classified as legged. Now Jarman taps it on, looking for Filkey. Filkey again in turn, but chipping in is Burke. Burke's kick back towards centre half forward, and good hands by Brownless takes the mark between centre and centre half forward. He'll kick this
Oh.
a bomb.
Oh.
Look at the kick. It may even bounce through for a goal. It does.
That
A magnificent kick by Brownless.
That is the biggest kick I have seen from a long, long time. Ferring kicked one from the centre down at Geelong years ago, the big ruckman, who was a former Geelong player, but that was a magnificent torpedo. You can see there, nearly in the centre of the ground, Brownless. And when you get onto a torpedo like that, it is poetry in motion. I don't know if there's a better feeling, Ian.
Magnificent stuff there by Billy Brownless. And Bruce, you tipped it in the second term that he does kick the ball long distances, and he didn't let us down on that occasion.
Just about 85 or 90 metres.
Fantastic stuff. Maybe that might be what Geelong need, the lift they need.
Well, it's 65 to 39, just 26 points in it, and another goal or two here would really make this interesting. Hocking caught. Marshall over the top. It was just such an emotional celebration at half-time for the Crows when they went off that they've got to restart again now and try and reassert the superiority that they showed in the second term. Exel misses it. Now gets out with it. Missed by Hocking. Bad blue. McDermott, who did that very good play on the wing a moment ago. Klug has been beaten. And the free kick going back to McDermott.
He's not quick, is he, McDermott? When he gets out into space, he was run down then.
He's good in the crunches, Don.
My word.
He's won a lot of hard footies tonight. He's kicked towards centre half forward. Klug's got it. He's really missed kick a bit, and Klug was able to get back on it in front of Schultz.
Well, Schultz, in all fairness, slipped over at the critical moment.
You don't see this very often. A bloke turns his back on the play and takes 5 minutes to kick a football.
And also the jumper's out, Bruce.
High one, not a good kick, but Mickens in the front spot. Couldn't quite hold it. Missed by Buse, off the ground by Burke. Some desperation there. Good take by Devlin. Back to Bairstow. The 1-2 to Devlin. He gets around Hocking. Devlin, who's from Horsham, kicks to centre. Missed there by 36 for the Cats, which is Ryan, who's also a new guy from Kyabram, and it'll be a ball up in the centre.
And good play by young Devlin there. This is his first tryout, to my knowledge anyway. And he showed a little bit of confidence there, taking the hand pass back from Bairstow to kick the ball back into the centre for Geelong. Burke tries to get the tap out. He does. Buse backs himself and gets through. The kick then is a scrubber, but it beats all players and eventually gets through to the 50-metre line. And Lindsay now puts it back within scoring distance. He gathers the ball beautifully and then seeks the safety of the boundary line with a handball. And we'll have a throw in about 70 metres out. Look at the determination on Bruce Lindsay's face, minding at the moment Gary Hocking. About 70 metres around from the Geelong goal. They really need a goal here. Hooper, McGuinness, beaten for it by Buse with strength, and eventually the umpire will call for a bounce. So the players about 55 metres out from the Geelong goal. There's Andrew Buse, acting captain of Geelong this evening. The Cats yet to confirm the captaincy appointment for 1991. Micken over the top, Hooper. Nearly taken there by Ryan. High kick by the Crows back towards the wing. Bruns in the van. Couldn't quite take the mark. Good play there by Stoneham. And going over the top, McDermott nearly interfered with the Geelong player that the umpire had already called for a boundary throw-in.
Cats in attack at half forward. It'll be Micken and Hooper. They lock arms against one another. One was playing for the Bears, the other for East Perth last year. Bairstow round his body. He's playing in country Western Australia. So a few months is a long time in footy. Warhurst over the line.
Well, the pace certainly gone out of this game at this early stage in the third quarter. Probably the emotion has started to sap out of the Crow side, but still, it's a long way to go.
Micken, missed by Buse. Marshall caught, good tackle, holding the ball.
Ooh, do you think that was a bit severe, Bruce? I know certainly that the player didn't move the ball on, but gee, did he get much of a chance?
Didn't look to, but it was a great tackle by Hooper first. I wonder who
At
take
least
the
they've
kick.
been consistent. There was one at centre half back earlier on, and
I
the
appreciate
umpire,
that,
the
but this is a
umpire is at least
goal-scoring
consistent.
distance. This is a
Well, it doesn't matter
goal-scoring
where it
opportunity.
is. Doesn't matter where
I
it
reckon,
is.
Fair enough.
Buse has had a con here.
Yeah.
Hooper wasn't the first tackle, I'll go he. And you wouldn't want to back him from here, but Buse, well, he's missed it too. So it's made no difference. 6-4 to 9-11. But this game could be won and lost in the next 5 minutes.
Warhurst to kick it in for the Adelaide Crows. He goes to the outer side. Nice kick, outside 50 metres. Geelong mark taken by Exel. Now Exel
kick it long.
He can kick the ball long distances with that left foot. This is no exception. It's a high drop punt to the front of the square. No mark taken. Punched away from Brownless. The crunch is on. Smart gets the ball to Lee. Lee, clever hand pass, goes to Lindsay. And Lindsay will clear for the Crows with the left foot. But there's no one home. Damien Burke marks. He plays on quickly. Kick to half forward. Malakalis should get the free kick. No, he doesn't. Play on. Comes back to Hocking. Goes to Hinkley. Hinkley shrugs the tackle. Gets the handball away to Ryan. Ryan goes over the top. Back to Gary Hocking. The Cats are playing keepings off. It's now in their forward pocket. And here's the mercurial Hinkley. On the left foot he misses, much to the delight of the Crows fans. So Geelong doing all the attacking in the early part of this third term. They're 6-5, but they trail by 4 goals. Adelaide are 9-11.
Warhurst to half-back. Micken the target. Excellent. Burke at the back. Lee to McGuinness. With pace. Takes a big chance. Goes to ground. Caught. Holding the ball.
Well done, because the umpire let the first one go, which was a push in the back to McGuinness. He went on with it. That was really good umpiring, and he penalised him.
Stoneham. Good mark to Brownless. Well, he should eat this. He kicked one from 90 metres out 5 minutes ago, and he's on the 50-metre line. Still not easy, but he's a magnificent kick. High drop punt. He's booted a mile, hasn't he? And he has just missed. So the Cats are 6-6. The Crows are 9-11. They're within 23 points. Paul Couch on the boundary line. Is he fit, Max Stevens?
Well, they're not saying too much at the moment, Bruce. It appears a right driver muscle problem. Not too serious, according to Geelong doctors, and they're just applying ice.
A right driver muscle. Well, in 1967, Don, you never heard of that one.
I'm still thinking.
The free kick on centre wing to be taken by Schwert for the Crows. Kick into the man of the mark. Here's rebound footy. What can the Cats do with this one? Bewes left foot kick into the pocket. Mark should have been taken by Devlin. Oh, disappointing play there for the youngster. And away comes Smart for the Crows. Up towards half forward. Strong punch from in front. Percentage stuff there by Schultz or Klug. And it goes over for a boundary throw in. Darren Smith warming up on the boundary line, preparing to come on. Who's going to come off for the Crows? Having a look around the ground. No one at this stage. Boundary throw in. Half forward flank for the Crows. Jarman. Oh, good hands there by Hocking. Gets in McDermott. McDermott's high kick to full forward. Hodges comes out. Player being held. It's a Geelong free kick going back there to Hinkley.
Actually, that was a bad tap out by Burke because he put it onto the Crows forward line.
Runs. It's a dangerous kick, but they're in here. Long handball by Hocking, a good one. Exel run down, still gets his kick into full forward. Brownless the target, but Maynard takes the mark. Sweeps the handball out towards Thompson. Will it sit? Good tackle by Scott, well done. Brownless in out after it. Maynard with him, and it'll be a throw in.
And
that was Matthew Kelly.
That
was fantastic, the way he ran Exel down, because he just caused that missed kick, and he would have put it to Brownless, but they cleared it, and that's what it's all about, football.
Gary Hocking on the up. Scott's give was very good. High one by McCrabb to the goal square. Brownless again the target. Smart and Maynard, they both wait for one another for a moment. Jarman, still Jarman. Good handball to Micken. Had time to steady, chips away and gets to Hart at half-back.
So Hart, who apart from kicking 3 goals has been relatively quiet.
He's been off the ground too in that second quarter.
He had some inspirational play early in the game to get those 3 goals. He looks to play on and gets past his Geelong opponent and eventually kicks it high towards centre wing. Big punch by Burke. Free kick being picked out of it. It may be going against the Crows, and the player infringing there was Felke. Geelong will go back into attack, in towards centre half forward. Attempted kick off the ground by Lee was held. Umpire now will call for a bounce. Geelong looking to run that ball away through Tony Malakalis, but the umpire, Greg Scroop, calling for a bounce just forward of the centre circle in Geelong's scoring half. Ruckman, Burke, Micken, the big fellows jostling for position. Over the top, Stoneham. Burke gets the tap out. It goes to no one in particular. Crows force the ball to half forward. Bruns, lovely little handball, goes across there to Devlin. The kick is a shocker, but keeping his footing is Hocking. Hocking gets the hand pass back to Devlin. Devlin had a look and then kicked it straight to the Crows defender in Maynard. Hughes trying to ruffle him up.
Devlin's made a few errors kicking in the last few minutes. Marshall to Smart. Klug against Schultz. Oh, well played, Schultz. He's
done well, hasn't he?
Very well.
He's been very good at centre half back. He's got Hocking short. Untidy looking play, but very effective. Exel, Smart at the back, well played. Hocking read it okay. Hamble not good. Ryan did all right. Stoneham, well done by Schwert. McGuinness has got Ryan. He got the handball away. Well played though by Lee. He was able to get a little one to Hart, to Jarman, to Filkey. Good kick, Jarman. Now he's got Kelly running for him. He'll give it to him now. Kelly's off. He's got Hocking very short. Hodges in the goal square. Hodges will set himself with Neil. Neil did well. Klug's got to get it across towards Hocking if he can. He's swamped. He's caught. And he's not good enough at the moment because he's gone again.
And as Don said before, I guess if the umpires are consistent on any part of the ground, the free kick's there, aren't they, Bruce?
Well, Schultz is really giving him a caning at centre half back at the moment.
McCrabb's kick in towards half back. Hocking takes the mark and plays on. Kicks even wider. Brownless gathers the bouncing ball nicely. It's sat for him. He runs up inside 50. Just outside 50. Long kick.
Oh, courage.
And punched away there eventually from Hooper. And it's through for a rush behind to Geelong.
But he didn't take that, Hooper. He's running with the flight of the ball.
Warhurst kicks it to the members' side. Mark taken by Hart. Looking to play on. Little chip pass. Oh, under enormous pressure there was Schwert. Hart kick off the ground. Back towards half forward. Klug. Oh, intelligent football. The player running past is Marshall. Running up towards the 50-metre line. He could nearly kick a goal. He can bounce it again if he likes. No, he goes for the shot, and it is a goal! Magnificent stuff! The goal of the night by David Marshall for the Adelaide Crows, and up go the crowd again.
Well, he really did have to kick that one, Marshall, because Hodges was on a lead. Now, he picked it up here, and Hodges was making his move then. He went for a few bounces, then Hodges had to double back. And he really did have to make, because that was going to be a bad play had he have missed it.
Well, it's a buzz here. Marshall, a magnificent goal, and credit to Klug's handball against the run of play. Hard off the ground. He's had some touches in the last 5 minutes. Geelong go to centre half forward. Smart misses it, but able to recover. The Crows will be inspired by that bit of football. Smith has just come on in the front spot. Bruns didn't sit for him. Marshall. McDermott's little gift to Maynard. Smith will go backwards to Jarman. He just chips it to Hart. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick. He's got Klug. Still Hart. Left foot's okay. That's good footy.
Play on.
To Filkey. It was touched. Now Filkey's kicked around his body, and he has put it through. And this stadium is alive again. 11-11 to 6-7. Some intelligent football by Jarman and Hart, and Filkey finished it off.
It amazes me, like I watched Filkey when he was at Collingwood, and he never played like this. But coming over here, he's really got it flowing, as a lot of his teammates, and he is a much improved player.
Well, I was just about to say, Don, I don't know whether it's the jumper, the look of it, or whatever, but in the Collingwood jumper, well, he just didn't look any sort of a player. But over here, magnificent stuff. Geelong go towards centre half forward. Bairstow's hand pass goes across to Stoneham. Stoneham's long kick. This may bounce through too. It does. It's a Geelong goal. And unfortunately, you may have thought at home that I wasn't excited, but it's very difficult here when the crowd don't react. It was a great goal kicked by Barry Stoneham, and a quick reply to the goal kicked up the other end by Marshall.
Well, we've seen two goals kicked like this. The earlier one was from Brownless, a set shot, but that was on the run. But nonetheless, a very good kick by Stoneham.
.28 points in it, 77 to 49. The Cats get one back. An excellent goal by Stoneham. McDermott's little gift. McGuinness got rid of it in a hurry. Hocking It's where the Cats are starting to get on top in the centre. Oh, good give by Brownless to Hocking to the goal square. Hooper in the front spot. Scott Thompson against him.
There's a fight on back at the 50 metre.
Caught Scott holding the ball. And there's that scuffle between Lee and Buse, I should say, and Thompson from the back pocket.
Kick by Thompson goes out towards centre wing. No mark taken. Good gather by Kelly, and he backs himself. Goes through half back. Kicks it towards half forward. Now the Crows are in the van. At the back half. Somehow got on his own. A little chip pass is too far. No, it's not. The mark is taken for the Crows by Tregenza.
Well,
I didn't notice, but he must have just come on the ground.
He's just come on, but Nell let him off that time. He should have kept going and taken the ball away, but he let him off.
Dashing youngster is Simon Tregenza, and he could kick a goal here from only 25 to 30 metres out. And he just casually pops it through the centre. So Tregenza kicks his first goal, and everything Geelong do, the Crows seem to have the answer. They're 12-11 to 7-7.
Well, he's got big raps on him. Now, here's the mark coming up. Maybe we might see Neil out of screen. Hart with the ball, chips it across. There, do you see how Neil pulled up? He should have kept going.
Tregenza's first touch, first goal for the Adelaide Crows, 83 to 49. He didn't play in the trial match against Essendon. Was one of the stars in Port Adelaide's string of premierships. Burke's kick after Exel gave it to him. To half forward, Lee against Buse. Bairstow, will they reply again, the Cats? Bairstow running, shot towards goal. It's bouncing through from behind. Scott couldn't quite get there, and the Cats are up to 7-8. The Crows are 12-11. There's Rodney Maynard looking on. He did a good job at centre half back for the Crows in the first half. Smart now playing at centre half back. Warhurst will bring her back in.
Drop punt kick wide towards half back on the outer side. At the back, Filkey. He's got plenty of pace. Left foot kick by that player is short, and the mark is taken by McCrabb. Darren Smith would be a bit disappointed there. The kick by McCrabb goes in towards the centre. Goes through all players. Burke, fairly settled. Bruns under pressure. Goes in turn. It's Mansfield, too slow. Micken, under pressure back there was Warhurst. Somehow the Crows get it clear. McGuinness goes to Tregenza. Tregenza's kick. A high drop punt to half forward. Smith tried to knock it on, which was intelligent play. Didn't quite work. Ball comes back in towards the centre. Stoneham a great tackle on McDermott. Jarman gets the ball, but handball short. Kick off the ground now by Devlin. Goes back in towards the centre. Gathered by Filkey. A good feint. Now it goes wider to Kelly. Kelly runs up to inside 50. Goes for goal with a drop punt and puts it through. Magnificent football by Kelly. And from what I would consider to be a half-back flank, has kicked his second goal for the evening.
Gee, can't he play, Kelly?
Well, he's done well tonight, Kelly. He was drafted in 1989 by Collingwood. Obviously, they didn't think or pursued him hard enough. Number 84 in the draft, but he has certainly impressed tonight, running well down on that half-back line. And it's good to see half-backs running down deep into the forward line.
Well, the Crows assume control once again here. They're out to 39 points. Kelly with his second. Negri back on. Tregenza, third kick in 2 minutes. To half forward. Not a good bounce for Klug. Well done, Bruns. Pressure on him, though. Left foot under pressure there. Malakalis might have got a free kick, a bit unlucky. Missed by Warhurst, but able to run out of bounds. There's Negri and Burke. Just shoulder to shoulder for the moment. So after the Cats have got back to within 22 points, the Crows have stretched it out to 39 again. Warhurst over the top of Hooper. Gary Hocking. McGuinness caught, got away with it. Stoneham. Buse. To Bruns, caught by McDermott. The tackling's good. Hocking gone by Marshall. McGuinness did well. The Crows' tackling's been first class. McCrabb. Oh, good stop there by young Tregenza. The Cats get it to Buse. Buse can't break the Marshall tackle. Well played by Filkey to Smith. Smith's got a panic. Hodges the target. It won't get that far. Hart, Hodges, and Neild. Hodges did well, gives it to Hart, left foot, and he drills it home again for his fourth. Well, I would like one that was the half-back flanked on, Scott, the endeavour and the persistence.
Well, I'd like to see actually what Hodges did with that ball, because I thought he got it across with one hand. And here it is, he butters up well. He threw that ball.
Tell you what started with Bruce was a Marshall tackle. It was unbelievable back here.
On Buse,
defensive side of centre wing, fantastic stuff. So inspirational stuff by the Crows, capped off with a goal by Daryl Hart, his fourth. Back in the centre, Negri. Kick by Stoneham, long one. Torpedo punt kick to full forward. Punched away from Burke by Warhurst. Coming through Gary Hocking. Kick off the ground there by Lee. It rebounds back into the square. Malakalis kicks it off the ground and misses.
For a name like Malakalis, he should have done better on that occasion. Soccering it through for a point.
Well, we saw a magnificent soccer goal early in the first quarter, I think it was, by Bruce Lingner. The ball in no man's land. He just elected to kick it out of mid-air, and it went through the centre. The kick in by Warhurst. Bairstow can't break away. Gets the handball to Bruns. Bruns gets past Marshall and then chips it in short. The mark is taken by Hinkley, and he may be too far out to score, Ken Hinkley. He's going for the long torpedo punt kick. He's got onto it, kicked it long to the goal line. It may have even bounced through. Warhurst is back there. It's a goal to Geelong. Beautiful kick there by Ken Hinkley. He's got his first goal, and Geelong get their eighth. 14-11 to 8-9.
You can always tell when the opposition over here kick a goal, because there is no reaction whatsoever from the crowd. There's Hinkley and Felke. McDermott's off, and Hocking coming on for the Crows. But that was a magnificent kick by Hinkley, a very talented footballer.
Don Warhurst could have touched that. I think he thought he was going through for a point.
It looks like Brown. Is that Brownless coming off, or no? It's Burke.
Burke for Phillip for Geelong, back in the centre. Negri beaten for it by Hooper. Quick kick by Marshall to half forward. Klug, good handball inside. Tregenza, Hodges, teammates from Port Adelaide over the top. Hart, Devlin with him. Hart did well not to fall over. Still Hart. This is his fifth. Bangs it through. (15-11, 8-9), and the former North Adelaide captain did very well to keep his footing and step in and kick his fifth goal.
Well, he has had a purple patch tonight, Hart. He's been off the ground in the halfway through the second quarter, but he certainly knows where the ball's going. He's not over-endowed with pace, but that's his fifth goal, and he seems to get away by himself, a very elusive player.
Daryl Hart, 5 goals. 2 goals each to Lindner and Hodges, as Matthew Kelly. And for Geelong, 2 goals to Robert Scott. Back in the centre, Negri gets it to Jarman. Jarman's kick wide to half forward. Bouncing ball goes free. Schultz, no one to give it to. Handballs it in front of himself, and it goes over for a boundary throw in.
No left foot.
Now, well, the pressure was always there. There's McDermott on the interchange bench for the Crows. I think that's been the big thing, Don, that they've just kept on pressurising Geelong. That kick coming from McGuinness goes up into the forward pocket. Klug, disciplined football, kicks it to the front of the square. It went a little too far. Hodges on the left. The kick across his body is close to the line. It's helped over for a rush behind, and the Crows proceed to 15-12. It's not a bad score. It's not quite three-quarter time, and Geelong 8-9.
That's his 6-point, Hodges.
I thought they might have been rushed on. Give it to Hodges, did you? Fair enough. McCrabb. Andrew Jarman's had a lot of nice touches in this third quarter. Just a little give all the time. Negri at the back. Chance for Tregenza from Thompson. Smith. Port Adelaide teammates.
It was a good grab by Thompson. A one-touch grab, Bruce, and that's important. You don't get too many double chances, do you?
Well, when I was a kid living in Adelaide, the big thing they used to say when you play the Vicks, one grab footy. In interstate footy all the time. Smith from 40 metres out. Lovely looking drop punt, just missing. Gee, kicked it long and strong, but just faded away. But 15-13, 8-9, and that punch that Geelong came out without after half-time seems to have left them for the moment, and Neild with a little one to himself.
Backs himself and then goes for the long kick wide. Half-back flank on that outer side. Punch back comes to Stephen Hocking. Gives it to his brother Gary. Oh, the kick slews off the side of his boot, but good fortune. Finishes with Exel. Sweeping hand pass goes to Bruns. The Cats with a little bit of space on the wing. Bruns goes back in towards centre half forward. 1-on-2. Big punch there by Smart. Back in towards the centre. Tony Malakalis gets past Jarman. Malakalis' left foot kick into the pocket. Geelong mark, no. Dropped by Phillips. He should have taken it. Handball further afield. Looks for Brownless. Brownless has got it. Handballs it to no one, but Scott's on the end of it and misses.
Bad luck for Scott on that occasion, because he was doing all the heavy work to allow Phillips to get the ball. He was shepherding off very, very well, the little fellow. Pity he couldn't put it through for a goal, because that was worth a goal, that play.
2-2 to Scott. Warhurst. 15-13, 8-10. Negri goes early. Good thump at the back by Hooper. Buse. Still Buse. Kick round his body. Strong kick. Warhurst did well that time. Punched it through from behind.
He's a good player, Warhurst. He impressed me when he was at Norwood. He's been at Norwood for a long time, but a very dour defender.
Looks fitter, lighter than he has been in the past. And his kick goes towards Tregenza.
And a good mark by that player at half-back. Kicks it quickly, further afield. Down comes Smith and takes a good mark in front of McCrabb. Crows looking to play on through Marshall, but the ball must come back to the player who has taken the clean mark. That was Darren Smith. Up towards half-forward proper. Punched away by Schultz, punched away in turn by Hooper, and it's over for a boundary throw-in. Well, Hooper, who started off nicely in the first quarter, has found it a little bit difficult. Playing in his first serious outing in the AFL. Punched on by Stephen Hocking. There's those hands of Andrew Jarman that Bruce was talking about. Opportunity for McGuinness. He's caught with the foot. He could have been penalised. McCrabb gets the handball further afield. Gary Hocking. No one home. Jarman again. Long hand pass. Smith. Smith goes in turn to Hart. Hart's kick into the pocket, and he misses.
He's a bit loose now, Austin McCrabb. He did well in the second quarter, but he's on Smith now, and he's allowed Smith in the last minute to get 2 possessions, and he was at least 5 metres behind McCrabb.
Well, I reckon Darryl Hart's kicked 5-1. Would that be right, Bruce? Not a bad effort from a little forward pocket player.
And gave a couple away earlier in this third quarter. The kick by Neild straight down the centre. At the back, Klug with Marshall. Here's Hart again. Left foot, Hodges the target. 3 Geelong players get back. Malakalis, Hocking will try and run him down and put some pressure on him. Gets him. Play on, good decision. Hocking over the top again with Exel. Hodges off the ground. Exel over the top. Hodges wants a free kick. Gee, Hocking did well, didn't he?
Well, I reckon that the discipline of this team is magnificent. All players all over the ground, particularly in the forward line, are fantastic at putting that pressure on the opposition.
Klug will do the ruck work against him, Hooper. They lock arms, still Klug. Taken by Mansfield, quick left foot. Brownless and Smart. Good bounce for Brownless. Good tackle though by Marshall. Scott was able to break through one tackle. Kick towards full forward. Warhurst a strong mark. The man that Don Scott likes at full back.
He did it well. Anticipated that short kick. Directs play to the outer side. Marcus taken out there by Kelly. Now Lee. Handball over the top goes to Smart. Tackled by Exel. Exel may do it. He falls over. Smart keeps his footing and will eventually get a possession. Good play. Hand pass is a little short for Lee. Kelly leaves it for Smart, and Smart puts the Crows up towards half forward. Nearly a mark taken there by Hart. He goes after it again. He's 1-on-3. There's the siren that ends the third quarter, and the Crows have done it magnificently. Geelong onslaught early, but Crows finish with the points at the end of the third term. At three-quarter time, Adelaide lead 15-14, Geelong 8-11.
Well, Geelong kicked 3-9 in that term, but the Crows kicked 6-3 and they lead 104 to 59. It's 15-14 to 8-11 at three-quarter time. Graham Corns talking to the Adelaide Crows with this big break, and they must sense that they're going to go right on with this as we look to what's coming up on 7 Sport. And don't forget the basketball season. This is the city of the Adelaide 36ers, and the Perth Wildcats, the champions of last year. NBL season fast approaching. Check your local guides for details. Well, Max, did you get closer to Graham Corns at three-quarter time? They must be a bit more relaxed now.
Well, as one would expect, Graham Corns is pleased with the way they're playing, but he's made it very clear that this is where Adelaide has to finish it off. Now, it's games in Adelaide. They're the games that they're going to win, so he wants to see a full commitment in that last quarter. Malcolm Blight, well, he said to his team that they've got to show desperation, a little bit of desperation, otherwise they're going to return to Geelong, which isn't in a great state at the moment, and they're going to be disgraced.
Max Stevens reporting as we look at the match stats. It's the Crows by 45 points on the scoreboard.
And interesting, the stats as far as the kicks go. I thought the Crows would be further in front than what they are. Handballs, interesting that, because Geelong are more or less handballing under pressure, not being able to get the ball away, but the centre breaks still in Adelaide's favour. Tackles 24-17.
The two crunch areas, Don, the tackles in Adelaide's favour and the centre breaks, where it's not usually given away too easily there.
15-14, 8-11. Adelaide to the left and Geelong to the right. Final quarter, first round of the Foster's Cup. Burke goes against Negri. Jarman's quick kick towards half forward. Bruns gets back and takes
That's quite amazing. Bruns, he was fixing up his boot, not interested in the proceedings, and nearly took the mark.
Well, Tregenza gets it now from 50 metres. Hodges, Neild at the back. Klug should goal, misses. That's untidy.
They're not really strong punches, are they, by the Geelong, some of those Geelong defenders? The ball just seems to drop at the feet. They could hammer that ball 20 metres.
Well, Schultz, who's done so very well on Klug, looks like he's carrying a corky or something at the moment as Neild's about to bring it in.
Well, Geelong, they look a little undermanned. I don't know what they're going to do to improve their side. They don't seem to have too many players back there home in Victoria, but they'll have a busy time ahead of them trying to analyse this match. Through comes Kelly, can't take it with him. McGuinness, Kelly after it again. Scott and Gary Hocking over the top, and the umpire calls for a bounce at centre half forward for the Crows.
Well, I think they've got the personnel, Geelong. It's just a little bit of something inside.
Oh, what's that?
It's called heart.
Oh, good stuff, Donny. Bounce at centre half forward for the Crows. Burke can't take it away. Schultz nearly does. McGuinness leaves it. McCrabb can't take it. Scott tries to burst his way through. And a real struggle for all the players there at centre half forward for the Crows. And obviously the Adelaide fans, a few of them here clapping because those players will not let Geelong clear the ball away from half back.
Well, over 20,000. Something around 25,000 here tonight. Klug at the back. Hart. Buse. Had time to try and get De Bairstow, who's been pretty quiet tonight. He's returned to AFL football. He's kicked a half forward. Terrific mark by Schwert. Under pressure, he's got Crows players everywhere. Goes long, not a particularly good kick, but it was too far for Hocking. Here's Hart, who had some wonderful moments. Hocking, this is Eddie Hocking. Hinkley tries to run him down. He runs close to the ground. Hart looks for a free kick, not there. Bruns. They're pretty tired, some of these players. Remember, it was 36 degrees in Adelaide at 6 o'clock tonight. Taken by Bairstow at centre half back. Bairstow goes wide, and Geelong now with a chance. Schultz, who can hardly raise a gallop. Well, you've got to feel sorry for him because he's played his heart out. Marshall says leave it. Klug doesn't, then he handballs it straight to McCrabb. McCrabb gives it across, and the Cats might get out of this.
Bairstow's high kick covers about 20 metres towards the Geelong goal, but that ball covered about 25 the other way. A big punch coming from Lee, and he gets a pat on the head from his teammate.
Well, that's a pity the Geelong defenders can't do what Lee did on that occasion. The ball covered 20 metres.
The teammate there was Lindsay, and they are really acknowledging the very, very hard work that their teammates are doing all over the field, the Crows. Darren Smith there, Andrew Buse, and in the background, Daryl Hart. Boundary throw in just inside 50 metres, and it favours the Crows. Burke tries to get it down to Bairstow. Bairstow clears back in towards the centre. One-on-one marking contest. The ball comes out the back. Hand pass. Goes back to McGuinness. McGuinness, long kick to the front of the goals. Punched away. Now's an opportunity here for Klug. A left foot snapshot is a miracle goal. Threw it on the boot. And through it went. John Klug kicks his first. And the Crows get their 16th.
Well, he was swung at the right time, Klug, on that occasion. We'll just watch this on replay. The ball coming to ground, a Scott in front, Hodges. And there he is, getting swung just at the right time as Felke's coming on. And going off is Kelly, who has done well.
(16-15, 8-11, 111 to 59. Klug has stuck to his guns tonight.
They're not frightened of pulling them off here, Adelaide, because Kelly's off the ground and Felke's come back on. I thought they've both been good players. I thought Kelly's done well tonight.
Malakalis, good tackle by Tregenza. Buse a sweeping handball to Bruns. Bruns with a high one. He wants Brownless to take the mark. Smart at the back. Thompson, who's been pretty good back there. Jarman, Brownless, Bairstow, crunched by three players.
There's two Adelaide players tackling one Geelong. That's indicative of the way the Adelaide side are going. They're going at the ball. They're going hard at the ball. They may have given away the free kick there, but the intent is right.
So Bairstow from 50 metres. David Marshall on the mark. Strong kick to the goal square. Negri in the front spot, interfered with, no free kick. And the Cats go up to 8-12 to 16-15. Well, they were 6-1 on the sportsbook, Ian Robertson. And
to win the Foster's Cup?
Yeah, and 20-1 Adelaide.
Well, you can write your own ticket, Geelong, and you can get on the Adelaide team, Bruce, because they've got some chance after tonight. The mark has been taken by Marshall. Marshall plays on quickly. Desperate stuff all over the ground. Tackling good, harassing good. Kicking just leaves a little bit to be desired. Their shooting for goal hasn't been all that brilliant. And here's the main offender, Hodges. He's got a chance to make amends here. Attempted kick off the ground, but he couldn't quite get his foot to the ball, and it goes over for a boundary throw in. Now, Bruce, I think there was some word from Scott Palmer that if Adelaide, they go ahead and win this game and the Eagles win a match, we're going to have a night game in Perth. Was that what Scott was talking about earlier? At
the Wacker. It'll be a quarter-final of the Foster's Cup. If West Coast can get over St Kilda on Saturday night. Here's Bairstow.
Bairstow's kick high, back in towards the centre. Coming down is Scott, and he takes a good mark in front of Thompson. One of Thompson's rare errors. Off to Tony Malakalis. Malakalis' left foot kick goes up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Lindsay Dower in defence. Schwert, a desperate player. Malakalis can't get through. That tackle was pretty good. And the player back there is Lee. And just a second ago, I wrote down against his name, Desperado. A lovely little left foot kick to Jarman. Jarman's kick is a little too wide. It may sit. It does, but not soon enough for Klug. And we'll have a boundary throw in 50 metres from the Adelaide goal.
Incidentally, Scott Lee played at Hawthorn, couldn't get a game there.
Well, maybe that's where he learned his desperate play, Don.
I think he's a wingman in the reserves at that stage.
And he just doesn't give much away. Can Hart get his 6th goal? He kicks to the front of the square. Hodges gathers it beautifully, but falls over. Maybe match fitness, a little down. Tregenza off the ground. And it goes out of bounds on the full. So a free kick to be taken for the Cats in the back pocket by Gary Hockey.
Hodges had only trained 1 week before the Essendon game. He kicked 4 goals that night, but the feeling was that he was just a bit behind the others in fitness. And tonight he seems to have run out of puff. Hocking. This is Eddie Hocking, who, as Don Scott said, is a real specialist off the interchange. Klug in the front spot. Strong mark against Schultz. I was pretty critical of this guy in the 3rd quarter. He's stuck to his guns.
I tell you what, he's what would you call him?
Socks down, no nonsense.
Yes.
And there's Schultz behind. He's been in front most of the night, and he should learn that lesson. Don't be behind. That's not his go. He should always been in front.
That's the word I was looking for, Bruce.
Let's see if he can kick this. 30 metres out. Directly in front. And the crowd like it. It's another one.
Well, Klug, as I mentioned earlier, tried out with Richmond a couple of years ago. Just could not make it there. I think he might have gone back to Tasmania and then come over here to Woodville. But they had big raps on him when he was at at Richmond, a Glenorchy player. And there in front of Schultz. And a good kick for the Crows 17.
And we're getting the loud clap here from the Adelaide supporters. They're pretty happy with their team's first performance in the AFL. It may only be the Foster's Cup, but it's the manner in which they've done it. The kick goes towards centre-half forward. Attempted kick off the ground by Smith. Ball comes wide to Bruns. He can't get past. Jarman always uses the ball beautifully. Tries to get it to McDermott. He's run down by Mansfield. Ball comes back to Hart. He may be slow, but he always has plenty of time. And the kick is effective. He finds Filkey.
Well, there was
4
4-2 on that occasion in favour of Adelaide, and again, indicative of the way they're playing. It's inspiring stuff.
Now Felke, don't know his long kicking ability, but certainly he fancies himself from just inside 50. You kick right on the line, and it gets the distance, and it's a goal. No, it may be touched on the line by Burke. No, it's not. So it's raining goals here at Football Park. Felke gets his second, and Adelaide 18-15 are murdering Geelong 8-12. 63 points in favour of the Crows.
Well, he was a great player here for West Adelaide. Felke went across to Collingwood in 86. Only played the 16 games there. Really wasn't impressive. Came back here last time he was on and off the bench. He has been, but I've been very impressed with his speed and football knowledge.
123-60. Alan Joyce is one of the interested spectators here tonight, the coach of Hawthorn. They play Adelaide on March 22 at this ground in the opening home and away series. And that's a long way away, but it's going to be a big night, obviously. Bruns to centre half forward. Almost a one-handed of the Cats, but nothing happening for them at the moment. It's going to be a long trip back to Geelong.
There's also Ken Sheldon and Peter Hudson over here looking.
Well, they're from St Kilda, and if St Kilda beat West Coast on Saturday night, a game you can see on 7, then they will play the Crows. There's Lee. Negri couldn't take it. Burke misses the body. Hocking on Mansfield. Mansfield handball all right. Stoneham breaks one tackle. Filkey just missed across the body there. Taken by Scott. The gift to Bairstow. They've got a chance here, the Cats. Malakalis. Exel provides the lead. The kick to full forward. Warhurst interferes with Exel. Yeah, he should have got a free kick. McGuinness really had no one to kick it to, and he was hoping for the safety of the line. Here's Stoneham. Lee tries to run him down, can't get him this time. Stoneham chips away to Exel. Beautiful kick, and Exel takes the mark in the pocket.
I would have liked to have seen him at full forward earlier, actually, Exel. He kicked a bag there a couple of years ago.
So Exel from the pocket.
And there's the replay. Good mark.
Good kick, Exel. Squeezes it through for a goal. Cats up to 9-12 to 18-15. You like him at full forward, Don?
Well, they're doing what I thought they should have done earlier. They're changing their rucks off the bench now that Burke's gone off. Hooper, I think, will go in. Yes, he is going into the centre, but this fellow here, I believe, should have been playing on the forward line. He played on the wing. Got a bit of ability, Exel, but just can't put it together. Lacks a little bit of consistency.
Well, the only interest left in this game is the margin. The Adelaide Crows will register their first win in the official AFL competition. Foster's Cup 1991. Negri nearly ridden home there by Hooper. Bruns, Marshall. Now an opportunity for McDermott. He shrugs the tackle and does it beautifully. Drop punt kick to the front of the goals. Hodges can't mark, but they've got 3 on the ground again. And a great Shepherd. Here's Hart. He'll get his 6th. No doubt. Another goal to the Crows. And I'd love to see who that person was that did the shepherding back there, Bruce. A fair-haired player, and I couldn't quite pick it. It may have been Smith, was it?
Yeah.
It was a very unselfish bit of play. It is predictable stuff, but sometimes that predictable stuff doesn't really come off. And congratulations to that big fellow.
But the interesting thing is the way he kicks that ball there. He bends that in the air. Now, from our position, that was a point. But what a terrific kick for goal. He is a very elusive player, Darryl Hart.
He's kicked 6-1, which is a
fine effort.
Well, I'd nearly suggest a best on-ground performance.
He's done a lot of good work. Negri in the ruck. Started with Central District, then went to North Adelaide to Hart under Michael Noonan. Bruns, well, Hooper couldn't take it.
It's uncharacteristic of Bruns to handball.
Now Bairstow, especially to Hooper. Bairstow with a high one. Quick kick by Gary Hocking, who's been quiet. Smart, takes a bit of courage.
He's a good player, this bloke, Bruce.
I think they've got a lot of good players.
Yep, my word.
Lindsay just sits there nicely, still running the Crows. And I think I'll buy both you and Don the Advertiser in the morning. That's out of bounds on the full, Robbo. I think
I'm getting out before they print it.
Here's your best on the ground going off, Daryl Hart. So they're not frightened to change the Crows.
And it's interesting, Bruce, wasn't this guy in contractual dispute early?
Yes.
He must know his real value because he stood out for about a week or two until they came to their senses to come up with something worthwhile.
And he's repaid them tonight with 6 goals. Bairstow round his body. Exel versus Warhurst. Getting back Lindsay. Exel keeps it in play to Scott. Good tackle by Warhurst. The Crows are still at it, and Micken gives it to Thompson, who's been one of the unsung heroes tonight.
I think they'll all get some pats on the back from the staff when they go inside. Gary Hocking looking to play on, but the free kick will come back to Mansfield.
The other interesting player is Micken. I think he's done particularly well. He had an operation on his calves over the Christmas time, and really that's got him right, but he's playing as well as what he did when he first went to Brisbane.
I know that they really like him in defence, Micken. They think he can do some good work back there.
And he's a big fellow, Bruce, which, you know, good big fellows are hard to come by. Mansfield, a poor kick, swings with the breeze, but the mark is taken by Brownless. Brownless's short pass is okay, and the mark is taken by Malakalis. Now, he's too far out to score, I'd suggest. The windsock way over in the outer grandstand area, indicating that there's not much breeze, but certainly kicks look as though they've been going further to the left of screen. Malakalis's kick holds up to that end, punched away there by Micken, getting back as Hocking. Good roving, and the small player will take it away. He's still got a bit of dash left, and he's going to get caught with the football. Ryan gets the handball away for Geelong. He goes back to Bruns. Another switch has been made. It looks like McGuinness has come off. Geelong have the football at centre-half forward. It's Gary Hocking in towards the, well, across the ground, basically, a little closer to goal, and it's with Brownless. Kelly is back on the field for the Crows.
He'll score, Brownless.
And Brownless from 40 metres out, the kick, he gets underneath it. They all look a little weary, the players, but this fellow doesn't. Micken. He goes after Malakalis, and eventually the ball is over. No, it's not. Malakalis and Exel, but he can't get past Warhurst, and the umpire will be forced to bounce in that left forward pocket for Geelong. So the Cats, well, they'll limp home tonight, I think, 19-15 to 9-12, and they've got plenty of rethinking.
Micken taps it out against Brownless. Micken formerly with West Adelaide and then the Brisbane Bears, and they'll just sort it out. It's 19-15 to 9-12. Certainly a one-horse race on the scoreboard. Thompson. Hocking, who made a dreadful error a moment ago where he really should have got it to Tregenza. And Daryl Hart's come off with 6 goals. Max Stevens, is he injured or just taken off for a rest?
Well, Adelaide officials have just told me, Bruce, that Daryl has a slight ankle problem and at this stage won't be taking any further part in the game, as you said, after his 6 goals.
Well, Bairstow Scott the 1-2. Scott's kicked the goal and he missed it. So Scott's now kicked 2-3, and it's 9-13 to 19-15.
How good's Hart going to be if he's fully fit?
Well, he played wonderfully well tonight, didn't he?
Oh, tremendous stuff.
In many ways, he was the inspiration that ignited the Crows.
At the start, it was great.
Warhurst out wide, good mark by Thompson, who's been very impressive.
Yes, they've got a few of those guys. The numbers up the top there, 40, 41, 42 and 44. They're not usually the good players, or the better players have got the lower numbers, but gee, they've been good, those players. They're forcing it forward just through persistence. Stoneham's got the football. A quick left foot kick goes back in towards the centre. The gather is by Devlin. He shows some promise, Devlin. The kick across his body is a bit of an up and under towards centre-half forward. It goes to the back. Ryan, let's see if the youngster can do something with it. Lindsay's the player in pursuit, and Lindsay, with experience, eventually will clear with the help of Thompson. And they've always had someone to give the player going for the football the helping out assistance. Marshall has it, runs around at centre half back and kicks it wide. Comes out towards Smith, and he does well. A 6-foot plus player, and he got down nicely. Here's a chance for Felke. The handball coming from Kelly. Felke's short pass is too high to Hocking. Back he goes again. Tries to crash his way through. Hooper, tackled by Kelly. The ball comes back. The rebound to Marshall. Marshall sweeping handball to Jarman. Constructive as usual. Left foot kick is long. Drop punt kick to the goal line, and it's through for a behind, but he's been down behind play. So a free kick will go downfield, or maybe he will get another chance.
I think he conned the umpire on that occasion. He's laid motionless, but he's all right.
Well, tell me if the ball goes over the goal line, if the ball has to land somewhere, doesn't
the umpire blew the whistle before the ball had gone down there, so he called it in flight.
Okay, the free kick will go down here to Hodges, and the angle, a very difficult one. He's kicked 2 goals 6, and there's a good look at what is facing Scott Hodges in his attempt to kick his 3rd goal. And he hits the post. Well, there was no doubt about that one, Bruce.
For the 2nd time tonight here.
Well, we think so, but what's your decision? That earlier one, wouldn't it? It'd be a good one.
Oh, beauty. There's Daryl Hart, who kicked 6 goals tonight. Bit of an ankle injury.
7 points for Hodges.
Neil to bring her back in. I think Dunstall kicked 3-7 last week for Hawthorn. Well, they're dispirited at the moment, the Cats. Tregenza, all too easy. That wasn't good. Look for Marshall. Playing around a bit at the moment. Still Marshall. Trying to put the pressure on him. Hocking. Bruns was in there. Now Stoneham. And the fire's really gone out of it now. They're pretty tired. Thompson has had a superb game and an excellent last few minutes to Lee. Lee bangs her back to half forward. There are players everywhere here. McDermott has been very good. Came back into the team with Tregenza from the team that played against the Bombers. They were the only 2 changes in that trial match. And McDermott, who's played so many wonderful games for South Australia over the years. That was ordinary to Filkey. And the Crows just going through a pretty ordinary patch themselves at the moment. Buse, they're still in over it. McDermott, that was better to Tregenza. And Tregenza looks like he might have kicked another one. He has. 20 goals, 16. You don't see that in the Foster's Cup too often. 20 goals to 9-13.
Well, the interesting thing about that passage of play is the fact that Geelong fellows were waiting for the ball. Nobody really did want the ball. They're waiting around their fumble. They're not really committing themselves. One player committed himself. That was McDermott. Got it across to Tregenza. A goal.
Gee, they all made mistakes. And the passage of play that resulted in the Crows' 20th goal. Some positive stuff from McDermott, finishing with Tregenza. Back at half-back, Lee can't control it. Ryan's under pressure for Geelong. The handball goes towards the Crows' goal. Felke just gets his foot to the ball, but it's effective. Hocking goes to Tregenza. Tregenza the dasher. He'll kick another goal. Long drop punt kick. No, he won't. It's nearly a mark. The ball is still in the field of play. Negri going up and down in the one spot. He does a good tackle on Hinkley and forces that player to miss the hand pass to McCrabb and keeps it in the Crows' left forward pocket.
Good play by the big fella then.
Looking a little tired, but gee, this game started off at a cracking pace, and in this heat here in Adelaide, the players have done a magnificent job. Buse in the back pocket, kick across his body, taken by Smith. Smith, a long bomb from a standing start, close to the line, and he misses just to the right. So Smith has kicked 2 behinds. The leading goal scorer of the night has been Daryl Hart with 6. Hodges has kicked 2, Felke 2, Klug 2, and Kelly 2 with Tregenza 2.
Official attendance 20,069, and the margin's 70 points. And 20,000 of them will go home very happy, I'd imagine. The other 69 barracking for Geelong. Here's McCrabb. The centre half forward, Lindsay, who's been terrific tonight. His experience back there has been excellent. He's made very few mistakes. He's won a lot of hard balls. Gets around Exel pretty easily. Chips it to Micken. He's got a few options here. Look at Hocking at centre half forward on his own. It might get there now. Schwert, short to Klug. Couldn't take it, no free kick. Hinkley should have, well, it'll be a free kick down the ground, or it's going to come back to Hinkley, is it? It's coming back to Hinkley. That's against Geelong, unfortunately for them.
Now, I just ask a question here. If that's a free kick, Don, why hasn't the umpire done something a little bit more than what he's doing?
Well, he's paid the free kick. What do you mean? Report? Do you think this report?
Yes, my word.
Well, we'll watch it here on replay.
Now, he's dumped the player after he's given the handball unfairly.
Brownless. Haven't heard you. Speechless for a while, Don. Anything to say?
Well, the umpires will probably look at that, and from the next few weeks they'll be red hot on it, but they've let it go. So
Lee,
get away with it. Good luck.
Well done by Warhurst to Lee. Smith. Strong hands. The crowd did well. Hocking. Sweeps it to Filkey. To Smart. Can go all the way. Had Hodges on a lead. And squeezes it in for a point. 9-13 to 20 goals 18. 71-point margin, 3 minutes and 13 seconds for Geelong to bear in this match, because it must be getting hard now, particularly for Malcolm Blight. Having a look at this.
Not bad for guys who've taken 5-4 the Crows. The kick in is taken by Hocking, and Hocking marks beautifully about 45 metres from goal, deep in that pocket. Hocking now gets around his opponent in Stoneham, goes for goal and pops it through. And away they go again. The fans on their feet. Their hands are sore from clapping because it's been a magnificent exhibition by the Crows. And the scoreboard is just all one way.
Well, that's arrogance there, and it's really rubbing salt into the wound. Hocking lining up for what you think's a goal. The ball gets around Stoneham and a goal. Good play, very confident.
Well, what a scoreboard. 144 to 67. You wouldn't believe it, would you? 12 goals, 5 the difference here. Micken against Burke. Bairstow. Exel. Well, Lindsay did well there. Now Scott for his third, chips it away at goal and sneaks it in. They're still booing.
You know, when it's a goal, there's just no reaction whatsoever from the crowd. Very parochial crowd. And Robert Scott done reasonably well, started exceptionally well in the first quarter. Put in a very, very big pre-season. He's been in the wilderness, football wilderness, for a couple of years, had a good season back in the grand final year, but just hasn't managed to recapture that form. He's put a big pre-season in. Let's hope he goes on with it.
144 to 73 in the last couple of minutes of this first round of the Foster's Cup.
There's Damien Burke up against Mark Micken at this centre bounce. Umpire Hayden Kennedy. Nice bounce. Burke favoured by it. Gets the big punch away. Goes wide. Just Scott a little bit too far. Thompson working overtime. McDermott on the bottom of the pack. The tackle is by Devlin. Now Geelong get the advantage. Burke's kick finishes with Brownless. Brownless may get their 11th. And he does. A beautiful kick by Brownless. And Billy Brownless gets his second goal. And there's a huge roar from the Adelaide crowd. They are silent.
It's interesting, isn't it? I admired the way McDermott went after the ball then, but he was penalised. He was the only player that really did go after it. Thought it might have been a push in the back, but the umpire deemed it holding the ball. He made the play and Geelong capitalised.
And Billy Brownless has tried his heart out, really, against numbers that have been quite magnificent. The 6 defenders at any one time in that Crows defence area have been disciplined, hard-working, and have been very, very good.
Well, he kicked a goal we'll never forget. From the centre of the ground here. Must have gone 85 to 90 metres. Micken and Burke. Couple of minutes remaining. Bruns. Throws it away. Marshall, who's been very good. McDermott. Long and high. Hodges. Negri goes early. Hocking. Against Gary Hocking. Still Eddie Hocking. From 40 metres. Drills another one home. It's his second. And smallest player on the park without any doubt.
But probably the quickest, Bruce. He has got exceptional speed, this little fellow.
He's been the surprise packet, Don. They didn't know whether he'd make it or not, but I think he's about number 54 on their list at one stage, and suddenly he's made it into the 22.
Well, good luck to him. That's Persistence personified, really. Eddie Hocking. So not long left now in this match. Good bounce back in the centre. Micken, Burke, Hocking again. Going all the way right to the finish. Thompson, Hocking, unselfishly away to Micken. Micken's left foot kick to the front of the goals. Hodges, can't quite mark it. Klug, unselfishly, another goal. Smith. So Smith gets his first goal. And Adelaide, to the delight of the crowd, get their 23rd. And I don't know what the record score is in a Foster's Cup match, but this would be close to it. 23-18.
Now, this is just like a training run. The way they got the ball out through Hocking across to Micken, who sent it down long. Players running onto the ball, as I said, just like a training drill. Not one Geelong player figuring it all.
156-79. Well, you wouldn't read about it, would you? 23-11.
You will in the morning.
Sure would. On a match that Geelong officially started 7-4 on, and Adelaide 5-4 against, and the two leading Adelaide newspapers, their leading writers both went for the Cats today, morning and afternoon. Tregenza with a quick one. Jarman and Hocking. Hocking caught by Jarman, able to get it away. Bairstow, who's had some touches in the last quarter, with a fire out of the game. Malakalis, Exel, getting back his lead. Gee, they're just relentless, aren't they? They refuse to give...
Well, they want the ball, Bruce.
One mistake there by Schwert. Refused to give an easy kick away. Kick by Bruns. Couple of Cats there in the box seat. Missed by Scott. Lee over the top of it. And it's going to be a bounce at centre half forward. So 156-79. And I think a lot of doubting Thomases after that first trial match against the Bombers will now sit up and take some notice, because Adelaide is definitely going to be competitive. There's no question about that. Ian Robertson reckons they've got a great chance of making the finals this year, because he thinks they might win most of their matches at home. Micken to Lindsay. Goes towards the boundary line, and he finds it.
I don't like admitting it, Bruce, because we were let down, I feel, before the game. I'd like to say something about that. Max Stevens has already mentioned that we couldn't get anywhere near the Crows hierarchy, and really all we're trying to do is promote the game nationwide, and I hope they've got a different attitude as far as we're concerned. All we're trying to do is find out who players are, what they're all about, so that we can tell the viewers at home. And Graham Corns, Neil Curley and company, please give us a chance next time we come to watch the Crows.
We know all the players now, Robbo.
Yes, they certainly do. They've been very prominent all night.
Micken and Stone, and Micken in the front spot. Malakalis, siren sounds. And they celebrate here in fashion. 23-18, 77 with Hart kicking 6 to 11-13-79. 156-79. 77-point win to Adelaide as we leave you from Football Park.
This has been a 7 Sport production.